Is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you. Hello, is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you.
What are you doing?
Calling around to get the best rate on a car loan.
Why? Everyone knows Alcoa 10 is the best choice to purchase a vehicle or refinance your current loan. And with low interest rates and 90 days to your first payment, it's a no-brainer. You can even apply online and sign all the documents from the convenience of your home.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
Alcoa 10 Credit Union. It's so easy. Go to atfcu.com for details. Rates are dependent on credit score and equal housing lender.
With smartphones being such an integral part of our daily lives, it is truly an inconvenience when it doesn't work properly. It disrupts the normalcy of our day. When you go into the cell phone store to have it repaired, they just try to upsell you on a new phone. That's why the owner of iDrop, TKL, left those places and opened iDrop. His goal is a happy customer. TKL and the team will listen to what you have going on and work to solve the problem of your broken device in a way that best suit your needs, instead of trying to upsell you on something that you just don't need. They don't just repair phones, they can service your laptop or PC as well as your Mac. Windows 7 support is over, but iDrop can help you transition to Windows 10. They have a 5-star rating on Google with hundreds of positive reviews. Let me say that again. I don't think y'all understand how big this is. They have a 5-star rating on Google. Their customer service really speaks for itself. So if you ever find yourself with a device that isn't performing as it should, give iDrop a call at 865-888-9740 or check them out on Facebook at iDrop of Knoxville. If man made it, they can fix it.
Deep down the middle's got his man, and he's gone. Jason Swain, touchdown.
It's time for the Swain Event with your host, Jason Swain.
My man.
Real sports talk for the real sports fan.
All you chumps are gonna bow when I whoop him.
It's time for the Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue.
Give me 2 laps and a Ric Flair.
Swain Event, SwainEvent.com, fueled by Dead End Barbecue, top 100 barbecue restaurant in America. Hope you are having a wonderful, wonderful morning. It is Tuesday, October the 26th, 4 minutes past the top of the hour. We are live here from the Low T Center studio. Ben McKee, Jason Swain. Our number one is brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. What a day. What a crisp, cool morning in East Tennessee. You just love to see it. Right, Ben? Good morning.
No, you do not love to see the cold weather.
Can't really see it, though.
You said we see it, so I went along with it.
Hey, man, good morning, man. We get baseball, World Series tonight. That's remix. Good morning, man. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good, man. We get a night game tomorrow. Not tomorrow, but next Saturday at Kroger Field versus Kentucky. We get a night game. 61,000 fans. 61,000.
Well, what are you scoffing at? You're the one that wants Tennessee to cut out 50,000 seats and get down to
That's a lie.
50,000 in attendance.
That's a lie.
At Neyland.
That's a lie. I've been on the record saying 90 in the 90s I'm good with. But 61,000. Listen, it's going to be loud. It'll be loud.
It was loud the last time Tennessee was there. The 19 game in which Daniel Batuli and Jaquan Blakely had the stop at the goal line. It was a really nice atmosphere. It's not Tennessee. It's not Alabama. It's not Georgia. Florida's an overrated environment, but Florida does get loud, and I think Florida sits 94,000, 87, 94, something like that. It's none of those schools. It's not Auburn. It's not A&M, but it is a really nice college football environment because Kentucky fans are passionate about their school, about their state, and they have a football product to be proud of right now. They're not used to this, so it was loud and rocking the last time Tennessee was there when Tennessee was trying to knock Kentucky off again.
No, for sure. No, for sure.
These two schools do not like each other. I view it as a rivalry game. I know people don't like to view it as one, but it is to me. Heck, there was a trophy for this game.
It's a rivalry game. When you talk about people, it's me. Don't subtweet me, Ben.
I'm not. I'm really not. There's a lot of people that don't look at Kentucky as a rivalry game in football.
Well, the old school Tennessee fans certainly do. The new school Tennessee fans certainly should.
I think it's the reverse. I think it's the old school Tennessee fans that watched Tennessee win. What did that streak get up to? 20-something games in a row.
I think it's like, I don't know. I think it's like 28. But the old school fans remember the beer barrel. That's why.
Yeah,
so,
that's true. I was just more so thinking that they never really saw Kentucky win against Tennessee, whereas my age has seen Tennessee has seen Kentucky beat Tennessee a couple of times since the supposed Tyler Bray, Derrick Rogers game, in which the theory is that those guys did not want to play in a bowl game.
Yeah, they didn't care about winning because they didn't want to play in a bad bowl game.
Yes.
Yeah, they didn't want to play in a bad bowl game.
Silly, no matter how you slice that up. But my age has seen Kentucky beat Tennessee a couple times. So I think it's kind of the reverse. Whereas the old school, just because they saw Tennessee win so much and be so dominant, that they didn't take Kentucky seriously.
Anytime you have a trophy on the line, it's a rivalry. I don't care how lopsided the series is. There used to be a trophy on the line, and whoever won that game would hold up the trophy. In this case, it was the beer barrel, and every year it feels like there's a cry to bring it back. Bring it back, bring it back. I ain't doing that this year.
Why not? We got 2 weeks to do it this year.
Because it ain't coming back.
We've got two. Yeah, but you having the influence that you have.
It's not coming back.
If we sit here and talk about it for 2 weeks, then it may come back. You've been encouraging Danny White to bring back other things.
Yeah,
it's a new regime.
Yeah, the letters. The Vol letters on top of the stadium, or somewhere around the stadium, or on the stadium, or however you want to, put it to where it's safe. And engineering said it can happen, but I don't really care about the beer barrel. I never saw it in person. I never played for it. I don't really have a strong connection to it.
Yeah, that makes sense. I do wish that I would like to see it return. I understand why it has not, but I just growing up, and this is going to sound silly, but playing NCAA football, playing video games on NCAA football, all of the different trophies that you could play in games and win that replicated the trophies that are on the line, and in real life, trophies used to be way more prevalent in college football than they are today. And I kind of wish that they would make a comeback.
And I know you have the Egg Bowl, you have the Boot.
Mm-hmm. A lot of Big Ten rivalries have them.
LSU and Arkansas, you got the Egg Bowl with Ole Miss and Mississippi State. That's pretty much it, man. I mean, here in the SEC, but the Big Ten, it seems like every game has a trophy. Mm-hmm. But I guess when you can't win a national championship, you gotta have a trophy. You
can't make fun of the Big Ten anymore, my friend.
Why not?
You have friends in the Big Ten now.
I've always had friends in the Big Ten.
Now you really have friends.
Yeah, I have new coworker, new partner. Yesterday was my first day being part of a new digital network and doing a show that will air 5 times a week here soon. Actually, in a couple of days, we shot our first episode yesterday, and it was fun. I told Ben before the show, man, I was ready to go to bed at 8:30 yesterday because I knocked out like 6 hours of nothing but either radio or air quotes TV, and it's a really cool opportunity. And yeah, my co-host, partner in crime, Brock Vereen, played in the league, went to Minnesota. I was drafted by the Bears actually in 2014. His brother is Shane Vereen, NFL running back. Played a lot of years there with the Patriots, but he covers the Big Ten for the Big Ten Network. So, you know, him and I do this really cool show together. But I'm still throwing shade at the Big Ten. I mean, that ain't gonna change. I'm not gonna change who I am. I'm gonna keep it real.
He was first team All Big Ten in 2013.
Yeah, he was a baller, man. I'm gonna change who I am, and I don't think keeping it real is gonna go wrong. I'm biased, and I'm proud to admit it. I can't even watch Big Ten. You know what? You know how biased I am? This is bad, man. Instead of watching Michigan, Northwestern, which clearly is a better game than Vanderbilt, Mississippi State, I found myself watching Mississippi State, Vanderbilt. And I was sitting there going, yo, Vanderbilt is trash. They are really, 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 really bad. They do not belong. But I don't want to get rid of them, but they do not belong. There's not a team in the Big Ten that is as bad as Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt doesn't belong in a Power 5.
They're bad.
I'm surprised the American did not announce the addition of Vanderbilt when it announced the addition of like 6 Conference USA teams last week.
They're bad, man.
Football-wise, they are on the level of Charlotte and FAU and North Texas and those schools that were added to the American last week.
Like Mississippi State, they're not good either. Mississippi State looked like Alabama versus Vanderbilt. Like Mississippi State looked like an NFL team against Vanderbilt. It was bad. But I watched that game longer than I watched Michigan Northwestern, and Michigan Northwestern was a better game. That's how biased I am. I gotta work on it, man. I'm working on it. I'm going through rehab right now.
To me, college football is college football.
I know it's supposed to be, but I can't help it. I can't help but to. Well, that's not true. College football is not just college football. There's college football, and then there's SEC football. It's on a different level.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, it's
but
on
in
different.
terms of taking in other games and in other leagues, college football is college football. Like I love it. I have a hierarchy. Tennessee football, first and foremost, then SEC football, and then college football. I love all three. I love Tennessee more than the SEC or college football, but I love all three. And when I don't have to be at a game, I am on my couch in my living room all day from the moment game day comes on at 9 Eastern until probably the third, fourth quarter of the Pac-12 game at midnight. I'm on my couch watching college football all day long.
I mean, if there's no SEC games, I'll watch college football. It's not a situation where I'm like, no SEC, no football for me. I'll watch it, but there's a preference. And I prefer to watch SEC football, maybe because, you know, competed in the Indy Conference, and it's the best conference in the land. But I found myself picking Mississippi State, Vanderbilt over Michigan Northwestern, and Michigan Northwestern was a better game.
See,
it was a better game. It was closer.
Where you're going wrong is that you don't have multiple screens.
I have multiple screens.
Set up.
I don't want to watch multiple games. I don't want to watch SEC and Big Ten at the same time.
Give me all the college football. Inject it into my veins.
There's 3 screens in here I could watch football on if I wanted to, but one One's enough.
Well, I was referencing your living room.
Oh, yeah.
I said that.
I don't be in the living room like that when I'm watching. I got to get away from everybody else.
I wouldn't either if I had kids.
Get away from me. Get away. I'm watching football.
Go now,
Get away. Get away. So if I really wanted to, Ben, we got 5 screens up in here, but that's way too much.
No, not it. I don't think that's enough screens. I mean, think of all the games. There's a game at noon on Fox, on ABC, on ESPN, on ESPN2. There's the SEC Network. There's FS1. There's CBS Sports Network. I mean, there's up to 7 games going on. And then you can also pull up Watch ESPN. And if you want to get in on a little FCS action, check in on the Mocs down in Chattanooga. You could check in on a little Southern Football Conference action with ETSU Bucks, baby. You can pull up Watch ESPN and pull up an abundance of games. 5 screens, it seems great. But, if you really about this college football life, you can have a lot more.
I'm good, man. I got some good games this weekend, man.
Do you follow Phil Steele on Twitter?
I don't think I do.
The magazine guy, for those who do not know.
No,
Phil Steele.
I don't think I do.
Have you ever seen his setup for how he takes in games on Saturday?
I have not.
That is too much. That is too much. Typically every Saturday he tweet. Here it is. He's watching 12 games, and they're all on like itty bitty screens.
Yeah, I see.
That's doing too much. How do you keep up with anything? Like I love where his heart's at. I love the thought process. He has the ACC network pulled up.
No SEC teams on the screens I see. None. There's Michigan.
He's watching Arkansas, Pine Bluff in Arkansas.
Oh, yeah, it's right at the bottom. At the bottom, I see it. But yeah, hey,
that's too much.
To each his own, man. Do your thing. My thing is I watch SEC football. If there's nothing on SEC, I'll watch any other conference, but I prefer to watch SEC. Now, here's the problem. This week, there's not a game that starts at noon. There's not a game that starts at noon this week because Missouri Vanderbilt is at 3, Florida Georgia is at 3:30, Auburn Ole Miss is at 7, Kentucky Mississippi State is at 7. That's it. That's pretty much it.
Sounds like a good day to knock out the honeydew list. Tennessee's not playing. No great games.
I'm gonna cut some grass today. This weekend. I'm gonna cut some grass, man.
I don't know. At this rate, there may be snow on the ground by Saturday.
You're right about that. And then the next day it'll be sunny. So we'll get some work in.
This is the weekend for Tennessee fans to knock out that honeydew list or do things with your significant other. Like myself, I'm going to Memphis this weekend. Hang out with the wife. Hang out with the grandma.
You ain't slick. You trying to go watch the Grizzlies play.
You right.
You ain't slick, man. You ain't slick.
Oh, I'm going to see Ja drop 50 on Tyler Hero's head on Saturday night.
You ain't slick.
I'm excited, though. I've never been to the National Civil Rights Museum there in Memphis. And there's some barbecue spots I want to check out. That's always been on my bucket list. So I'm excited. Tennessee baseball is going to be in town. Scrimmaging La Tech there in Memphis. Going to go check that out. So, and I haven't been in like 2 years to see my grandma. I've seen my grandma at other places, but I have not gone to see her in like 2-3 years. So I'm going to kind of knock out a bunch of birds with one stone this weekend. But you're right. I'm using those excuses so I can get to the Grizz game and watch the greatest point guard of all time play on Saturday night.
You gotta stop joking around like that for somebody to take you serious.
Would you blame them for taking me serious at this point?
No, they're not gonna take you serious.
Did you see the 40 and 10 he dropped on the Lake Show on
taking
Sunday
you
night?
serious. You gotta stop that.
Yeah.
You gotta stop that.
Look, it's not my fault. He's the best player in the NBA history, and that he's the best point guard ever, and he's the best player in the league right now. Did you see LeBron making business decisions and getting out of his way when Ja was coming through the lane?
All right, let's skip Bayless. You stop. JT Young says, "Dude, Mississippi State beat Texas A&M, and I said they're not a good football team. You're not making a good point for why they are with that comment. They're not good. I'm sorry. I don't care if they beat Texas A&M. I don't care. They're not good. If you're making a point, make one that makes sense. Mississippi State is not good. I don't care if they beat Texas A&M. They just were better than A&M that day. Is A&M better than Alabama? No. They're not a better football team. But they beat Alabama that day. They were better that day. But they're not a better football team. 9 times out of 10, Alabama wins. But that's what makes college football so fabulous and so great. Who's the better football team between Tennessee and Kentucky? Most people will say Kentucky, and that's okay. Right now they are, ranked. They've only lost one game. They're 6-1. Obviously, Tennessee's record is different, and their schedule has been harder, playing against Pitt. Kentucky has played against Georgia. We haven't done that yet, but we have played against Alabama. But it doesn't matter who's the better team next Saturday. Doesn't matter. All that matters is who's the best team that day. That day. Who is the better team? That's all that matters.
Just like in 2018 when Kentucky had one of its best seasons in program history.
Ranked 11th.
And Tennessee was the better football team.
That's what matters.
That's all that matters. And Tennessee has a great chance of beating Kentucky next Saturday as long as they can get healthy. I know one thing. I'm tired of Tennessee having bad luck with its schedule. How is it that it's the end of October and the Heisman frontrunners right now are Bryce Young, Matt Corral, and Kenny Pickett, and Tennessee has played all three? Only at Tennessee. I guess the silver lining is when Tennessee goes up to Pittsburgh next year, second week of the season. Kenny Pickett will no longer be the quarterback, and they'll have somebody new.
Well, how about 2018 when Tennessee opened with West Virginia, and West Virginia was a dark horse national championship contender, and then the years after that, they've stunk. But we catch them on probably the best year they've had since Pat White was there and Rich Rod was there.
Tennessee, man, and it's non-conference schedule. It's either the non-conference opponent that is like the best team that they've had in years, or it's the other cross-division opponent that Tennessee draws. Like next year, LSU. Like what quarterback is gonna Joe Burrow 2.0 is gonna be playing for LSU next year?
That's gonna be Max Johnson, man.
I like Max Johnson.
Yeah, he's pretty.
But they'll have it turned around by the time Tennessee gets to play them. We don't get to take advantage of LSU when they're sorry this year, but next year they'll have it turned around. They'll have Bill Belichick as the head coach.
Yeah, Lane he'll like Max Johnson. 865-255-03. We'll take our first break of the day. Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue.
Swain Event family, are you in the market to purchase a home and a bit freaked out with the market right now? As someone who has been in your spot before, I'm familiar with what's going through your brain. And as a realtor, I've mastered the ins and outs of the buying process. When you work with me, you'll benefit from my experience, and together we'll work toward making sound, smart decisions for your future. And of course, talk a little Vol Sports along the way. Just give me a call, Jennifer Morris, Keller Williams Realty, 865-257-7897, or email me at jennifermorris865@gmail.com. Hope to hear from you soon.
When you start your own business, you know that branding can make or break a new venture. That's why Swain Event relies on 42nd Street. 42nd Street is a strategy agency focused on finding creative, open-minded, results-driven solutions to brand design. After over a decade of operations in East Tennessee, the brand architects at 42nd Street have the experience and creative know-how to ensure the success of your business branding, logo, web presence, and more. To see a real-life example of their amazing work, you can check out our website at swainevent.com. Don't trust the branding of your business to just anyone. Check out my friends at 42nd Street online at 42st.com or give them a call at 865-382-7007. 42nd Street, brand, strategy, design. JC's Tree and Landscaping Service specializes in quality tree work done at an affordable price. Trimming and removing trees are their specialty.
They also offer other services like land clearing, stump grinding, crane services, and all of your basic landscaping needs for both commercial and residential. JC's will give you a free estimate and beat any written quote by a competitor to guarantee that you get the lowest price around. Don't risk your land with a fly-by-night service. JC's Tree and Landscaping is licensed and insured. Give them a call at 865-599-3799.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. Cheer on your favorite team with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
For a replay of each day's Swain Event TV, like us on Facebook.
Get to the Iris Networks hotline, 865-255-03. Hour number one is brought to you by Healer Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Let's get to Nathan. Nathan, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Swain. How are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Good. Hey, when did you start doing the pregame show for the games, call-in show?
You mean the Big Orange Countdown?
Yes.
This year.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not calling anymore.
Okay. Yeah, but you're doing good. I caught you on there, and I said, well, I didn't realize that. So.
Yeah, man. Started this year, man. Started this year with Chris Brown, Will Overstreak, and those guys rotate each and every week, and I'm on there every week. But they changed the name to the Big Orange Countdown. So we do a trivia where you can call in and win. A trip to Cookville to play some golf, but they got rid of the whole call-in
thing, model, but I was out of town. I could listen to the game and enjoyed it, but I got to kind of watch it after I got back in, and I think it's sometimes we can say, and I agree for the most part that we don't want any moral victories. But I think sometimes, whether you want to call it a moral victory or not, it's really okay to feel good about progress, And even though we didn't win that game, when I think about since Coach Fulmer's been not been at UT, that's the third time that we've competed with Alabama that I can remember. We had Lane's year, Butch competed 1 year,
15,
and then last year, and Heupel did it in his first year with the worst roster, with a less talented roster. Correct. And we were in that game to win that game until things kind of fell apart in the fourth quarter. Guys never quit. I mean, I think it's okay to be, pretty excited about that.
I mean, I don't have a problem with looking at the positives in a situation that the outcome is not ideal where you lose. I mean, I kind of get a kick out of people that scream about more victories, more victories, more victories, more victories. I'm not a big fan of more victories and more. Look at y'all over there, man. Y'all not real because you're over here talking about more victories. And I just like if you want to win. Just period. I think in life or in sports, I think you always have to look at positive situations out of the negative because you have an opportunity to learn. Like learning, you get better, and so you never really take a loss. You either win or you learn, and I think if you have that mentality, you'll be where you want to be. And for Tennessee, you didn't win, and right now we are 500, but the lessons that this team has learned, even with losing, man, they competed their butts off with less talent, less depth, and they've learned to even trust each other even more, trust the process more, trust the coaches even more, work harder, believe in yourself, and maybe this next game against Kentucky is where they kind of reap the benefits of their hard work and their patience. They've played some really tough opponents, so like I'm not sitting here doing backflips that Tennessee lost against Pittsburgh, lost against Florida, lost against Ole Miss, lost against Alabama. But we're just like, if you have a half a brain, you have any type of intelligence, you would understand that Tennessee was just outmanned, for in a lot of those games. And the fact that they were able to fight the way they did up to a certain point is pretty impressive. They were really not supposed to be in the Alabama game at all when you look at both rosters, but I understand exactly what you're talking about, and it's perfectly fine to look at it that way without feeling like that, oh, you're not a real winner because you recognize some positive in a negative situation. Like, I just don't get that.
I mean, because back to what you say about the moral victory thing, I think that's just like such a hot take now.
It really
you hear
is.
That so much. I'm just like, that just kind of, I just get tired of hearing that particular phrase. But I think that really more applies to, hey, we have an even roster and we came within a couple of points. Nobody's really happy about that, because you're where you want. We're still trying to get to where we want to be. I really think that, we're going to go in there and get after Kentucky in a big way. I've been thinking that since the beginning of the year, so I'm really excited about it. Last thing I'll say is, that Ole Miss thing with all the fans and all that, whatnot. I had a lot of I'm not on Facebook stuff, my wife is, but, a lot of other fan bases, calling us out and all that. But you put any of those folks in our position over 10 years and have the coach that came back that kind of helped precipitate all that, Alabama would be throwing their firstborn children out of the stands.
Yeah, they throw all the condiments in the refrigerator on the stands, right? All the golf balls. I didn't even think people still were talking about that. I mean, it feels like it happened months ago, even though it was just 2 weeks ago, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, it happened, and when you have bad officiating, and it costs your team a chance to win, and you've seen the bad officiating weeks after weeks after weeks, and we saw it again against Alabama. I mean, I saw the photo of Kamal Hadden with the football underneath the pile on the Bryce Young fumble. I mean, what do you expect? Not saying that it's justifiable, just not saying that it's, the fans were right. All I'm saying is I understand. Let's go back to the phones. Let's get to Zach. Zach, good morning.
What's up, guys? How y'all doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Working. Besides just getting healthy this week, what's the best thing this team needs to work on during this bye week, you think?
What is who need to work on? Are you talking about the team or?
Yeah, just as a team. What would be the number one thing that they need to work on during this bye week? Just
usually, and I don't want to give like a broad answer. I'm trying to give you like a specific answer here, but usually fundamentals are going to be harped on. So just the basic, getting back and tackling positions, working on the strip, working on high point in football if you are DB or if you are receiver. I think that's something we definitely need to get better at receivers, high pointing the ball, when to high point it, when to let the ball fall off of our over our outside shoulder. I just think getting back to the fundamentals. Sometimes you get so caught up in scout mode where you're preparing for the opponent that you're playing, and sometimes you don't work on yourself. And this week is a week to work back on yourself. It's kind of like taking a week from fall camp. Like the week before the game week, that's typically a time where you're still working on you. Game week hits, okay, You play Bowling Green. All right, so let's start taking pages out of Bowling Green's book, start preparing for what they do. Let's take their strengths and try to limit, their playmaking ability. And then you do that each and every week. All right, then the next game you got Pittsburgh, you got Tennessee Tech, you got Florida. So then your game plan changes every week depending on the opponent. You do that about 4 or 5 weeks, you really haven't had a chance to work on you. Comparing that to the real world, like you got kids, you got a spouse, you got coworkers, you got friends. You're doing things for them all the time. Then you turn around, you're like, man, I haven't done anything for me. My goodness, I need some time. I haven't had time to take a shower. I haven't had time to work on me. You turn around and you neglected yourself. Well, here's a time for Tennessee to get back to the drawing board, do some self-scouting. You go, okay, man, we've played a good number of games. We've played 8 games, and let's go check out our tendencies. On 3rd down and long, this is what we typically do. On 3rd and short, this is what we do. On 1st down and 10, this is what we normally do. If you notice that about yourself, you have to understand that someone else has already noticed that about you. Your opponents have already figured that part out. They know your tendencies already. So now it's a chance for you to self-scout, and now the back half of the season, you can go up against some of those tendencies that you have created. But I think just fundamentally across the board, this is going to be a week where the coaches are going to go back to kind of a fall camp type of regimen. Yeah, we're gonna work on Kentucky. But usually the first part of the bye week, it's about us. We're going to get extra days to work on Kentucky, and we'll have the advantage because Kentucky is playing a team this week. So we'll have an advantage as far as preparation. But for the first half of the week, we need to work on us. We need to work on ball security. We need to work on making sure that our mesh point is on point on the handoffs. We need to work on putting the ball in the outside hand and really harping on that. Because we saw it in film. It didn't hurt us. We didn't fumble, but we want to make sure that it doesn't come up. So let's get back to the basics and making sure that that's taken care of. So I look at this week not only as a week to get healthy, but a week to get back to the fundamentals and really harp on those things.
Tackling. That's what Tennessee needs to work on.
How do you work on that when you're not tackling?
That is a question for a football coach, not an idiot up here with a microphone in front of his face.
At least you admitted it, finally.
I've admitted that several times. But Tennessee had its worst tackling performance of the season against Alabama, and part of that is Alabama. Brian Robinson is
a beast.
Statistically, and you can see it with your eyes as well. You don't need statistics to back this thought process up, but he leads the SEC in broken tackles. So that did play a role. And Tennessee did miss. I was going to say more tackles as the game went on, but they missed a ton in the first half. I mean, I counted like 15 to 18 missed tackles in the first half. Or maybe not bona fide missed tackles, but like bona fide missed tackles and just whiffed on opportunities to bring the ball carrier down, whether it be poor angles or something of that nature. It was a really bad tackling performance. And again, part of that was Alabama, but Tennessee had been fairly strong at tackling. Missed tackles had not been a group issue really until the Alabama game, in my opinion. And that is something that they are going to need to get back to work on, because Chris Rodriguez is a tough guy to bring down. He's a big old boy. He's not the most elusive guy in the world, but he'll try to run you over. And again, he's not going to be easy to bring down. So getting back to the basics of tackling will be a good reminder for this defense, I think. And it's not just Chris Rodriguez. Cavassier Smoke is a home run hitter as well. They've got some backs that are either hard to bring down or can make you miss. Wan'Dale Robinson, hard to bring down. And
that's who worries me.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. So they've got some guys that can make things happen with the ball in their hands. So getting back to some fundamental tackling drills will be important this week, in my opinion, along with just getting healthy. I know Zach was asking about what Tennessee should work on aside from just simply resting and getting healthy. But that truly is the number one objective this week is to get healthy.
ATF VFL says DL needs to work on disengaging O-line so they can get quarterback running on third down. Listen, I think that's valid. I think there's things every unit can point to something they can work on and improve at. You're not playing against Matt Corral or Bryce Young anymore this season either, but you certainly don't want a quarterback that can't run all that well to have a career day. That's something that you want to work on, you want to correct, and that gets back to fundamentals as well. But understand that you went up against 2 out of the 3 Heisman Trophy candidates in the last 2 weeks, so you got to kind of give some credit to those guys too, and also get better at it so that way it doesn't get you beat moving forward. Go ahead, Ben.
Well, I was going to say I thought the defensive line played really well against Alabama. I didn't think the defensive line was the reason that.
No, he's just saying they need to work on disengaging so they could get to the help stop running quarterback. You had one go for 200 yards against you 2 weeks ago. So I mean,
right.
Yeah, I mean it's a good point.
It is, but I'm not trying to crap on the point. I'm trying to add that to me it's the linebackers that need to work more on disengaging from blocks than the defensive linemen. I was going to say that I don't by any stretch of the imagination think that the defensive line played perfectly. I've just seen that more of an issue for the linebackers than the defensive line, because I've seen Matthew Butler hold off an offensive lineman with one hand and be able to shed and still make the play with one hand, or completely shed the block and obviously make it with 2 hands and bring the ball carrier to the ground. I've seen Jaquan Blakely do that several times. Byron Young is getting better in that aspect. I see the defensive line doing those things. I don't necessarily see the linebackers doing that. You really saw that in the Ole Miss game, to where Ole Miss would run a quarterback draw, and I mentioned this last week, but I thought Ole Miss did a good job. Jeff Lebby, Lane Kiffin, whoever, did a great job of designing it to where an offensive lineman leaked out as the quarterback draw's lead blocker, or even they brought a running back or a receiver and let them lead block for Matt Corral and Aaron Beasley, Jeremy Banks. They got caught up on that lead blocker and could not get off and make the play. Trayvon Flowers, Jalen McCullough, they couldn't get off and make the play.
You in space and on them quarterback draws, you want those lanes to be more narrow and condensed, and this is where the D-line made some adjustments in the second half, and that's partly on D-line too. But you in space, in a large space, it's one-on-one with you and the quarterback, and he got a lead blocker, man, you ain't winning that most times, because the ball carrier is going to make the blocker right. It's kind of like playing tic-tac-toe, Ben, and you get hit with that double move. Mm-hmm. You get set up. It doesn't matter. Like, you can go circle here, go X here. It doesn't matter. Like, you're going to lose anyways because they set you up with the double move. And when Matt Corral was kind of having his hand on the back of the lineman as he was approaching one Tennessee defender in space, you gotta be borderline All-American to shed that block and make that tackle, because you're going to lose that one more times than not. So it is a collective effort with linemen and linebackers. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong or anything. I'm just adding more context. But fundamentally, there's things that the D-line can do better to not allow so much space for a linebacker to have to cover or tackle a quarterback in space like that in Ole Miss. And again, you ain't playing another Matt Corral. You're not playing another Bryce Young. So you mix that in with you improving. We shouldn't see any big time, runs like that on third down from any other quarterback moving forward. Now, Vanderbilt's quarterback is a little mobile, but the line, the blocking is terrible. The team is terrible. I don't know how much he's going to hurt you. Levis is not, he's no Baker Mayfield.
But he'll beat you.
But
if you don't watch it, he'll put up 70, 80 yards.
But he can run too. I mean, he can be a threat. He's no Lamar Jackson dual threat, but he is a dual threat because he can run if he needs to. He's just not going to torch you like Matt Corral. He's not going to be as mobile side to side and making guys miss like Bryce Young. Some of these labels kill me because North and South, they can beat you. These guys that get these dual threat quarterback labels, it's because they're quicker from side to side. But you leave a lane for Will Levis to run through, he can run through it and go pick up a first down. So got to make sure that you have some lane discipline there. Linebackers got to make sure that they're doing a good job of making tackles when they can in the open field. It's just them and a ball carrier. But when it's them, a ball carrier, and a blocker, that's tough to ask the linebacker to make a play on. Because more times than not, he's gonna miss that one.
Will Levis is gonna try to run you over. So if you're Trayvon Flowers, if you're Jalen McCullough, if DB or linebacker, it doesn't really matter. Don't go to try to tackle Will Levis and all of a sudden be surprised when a Mack truck hits you, because there's been several times where he tries to run guys over. I mean, he is not afraid. He's got that Matt Corral in him, that little pit bull in him, where he doesn't slide as much as his coaching staff would like for him to slide. And that was the book on Will Levis when he transferred from Penn State this offseason, is that he's a running quarterback who hasn't developed as a passer yet. So this, in my opinion, will be another tough challenge for Tennessee in terms of containing the quarterback in the run game.
Text box. Oh, let's get to the phones.
We got Josh in Virginia.
Josh in Virginia. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. I've already hit on some of the stuff I was going to ask, but
I'm sorry about
coming
that.
from hey, that's what y'all are here for. I'm a fan. I'm not a football expert, but some of the formations and stuff, like with Ole Miss and then Alabama, it looks like they, like what you were saying, they did their homework. They saw a weakness in Tennessee, but a lot of it, can that lineman come up and just hold the linebacker? Because it looks to me like every time that quarterback runs, that's what they're doing. The lineman is coming forward, holding the linebacker to where he can't. I mean, is that not a holding call?
Well, as long as your hands are inside, your hands are inside, you're good to go. Once your hands get outside the shoulder pads, or when the defender tries to break free and there's a little bit of a snug of the jersey, those are easy holding calls. Lineman in space versus a linebacker or DB, you typically see some of those holding calls, but it's important for the ball carrier to stay close to that lead blocker. If he stays close to that lead blocker, it helps the lineman not be put in position where he is grabbing and holding, because linemen work in the phone booth. The moment you put them in space, that's when they get themselves in trouble. So the ball carrier can help the lineman out there by being close to him. But, yeah, I mean, the holding calls are normally called when your hands get outside the shoulder pads, or when a defender's trying to break away from your block. There's some resistance there because you're pulling and grabbing them, and that's an easy holding call. But that's holding. Josh, you can call holding on every play if you really wanted to. That's holding every play, man. Every play.
But this quarterback run, do you think it's just an ability or formation on our part that's just allowing this to happen, or just the combination of the ability of the quarterback and the not ability of our depleted defense?
Well, it's Alabama, man. I thought our coverage team did a good job, downfield, but then Bryce Young just decided to run. I think Ole Miss was more scheme, and they did a lot of quarterback draws and powers and counters and things like that against us. I know I saw Ole Miss run a quarterback counter against LSU. So that was, I think, running the quarterback is more intentional for Ole Miss. And for Alabama, it was, all right, there's no one down the football field, and Bryce Young is just going to run. And, boy, did he break off some of our ankles. We're going to need the training room this week for ankles because, man, he was shaking some of our DBs. And you're not supposed to get done like that if you're a DB by a quarterback. Whew. But Bryce Young's good.
Definitely.
You kind of gotta tip your cap to the opponent sometimes too. I mean,
absolutely.
Those two guys are good.
But man, if you ever do hang up your microphone, man, you definitely got a job in coaching. Sitting here listening to you and how you can break everything down, just a great job, man. Appreciate your knowledge, and you guys have a good one. I'll hang up and listen.
Hey, thank you, man. Yeah, I don't know if I can recruit today. You mean call you every day? Just to come on a visit? Goodness gracious, so needy. You mean every day? You want to talk to me every day? Gosh, don't you got a girlfriend? Like, don't you got some friends to go hang out with? God, don't you want to play video games with your friends? Golly, man, you want to talk to me every day? Ugh. I bet some of the old school coaches are like, man, this recruiting stuff is for the birds. For the birds. Looking at Kentucky's roster here. Oh, hey, Justin Rogers.
Still ain't done nothing.
Oh, Waddell Robinson. Hey, sir. Yeah. He a problem. He's going to be a problem.
He's going to play in the league for a very long time.
Yes, he is a problem. He will be a problem next weekend. I'm just telling you now. He will be talked about in the defensive staff meeting room. He will be talked about and highlighted during scouting report when the two units have their scouting report, offense, defense, and the defense scouting report session. He will be talked about. He is a problem. He can beat you if you don't know where he is on every play. But you mentioned Will Levis being a guy that will run you over. He is 6'3", 232. That's what I was looking for.
Big old boy.
He big old boy. How big a boy are you? He big old boy, Roy D. Mercer. He 232 now. He run you over.
I mean, all you need to know about him is that he eats bananas with the peel. Still, the way it.
Didn't he have the video of dancing?
Yes, he's a weird guy. He drinks coffee with mayonnaise.
Listen, we already handled one player that was posting some weird stuff.
He wasn't dancing that bad, like the the belly button. Oh, Nick Muse.
No, I'm
South
saying,
Carolina, right?
Yeah, that was a photo. That was him showing off the belly button. That's what we call him, belly button. So we already took care of belly button. Now we got to take care of Will Levis, and Will Levis got some help now. He got some help too. Text box.
The good thing is that it's just Wan'Dale Robinson. At least Tennessee can focus in on Wan'Dale Robinson. Like with Alabama, you had to worry about John Mechie on the perimeter, and then their Wan'Dale Robinson, who is Jamison Williams, who transferred from Ohio State in the slot, who had a huge game. I mean, he had his best game of the year against Tennessee on Saturday.
25 targets between the two, 17 catches, 244 yards between those two.
And two touchdowns.
Touchdowns, both by John Mechie.
Yep. And
I don't like how he went Karate Kid on him.
What's that?
I don't like how he went Karate Kid after Javante Payton went Karate Kid.
You noticed that too?
Oh, I did notice that.
And he held the pose longer.
I noticed all the little stuff like that.
Oh, I do too. I noticed it yesterday when I went back and watched the game because I was like, "What is Javante doing?" Like that was my that's your celebration. Like I know it's Karate Kid, but
I'm just amazed that referees are allowing all this year.
I thought they were going to throw a flag on Cedric Tillman on his touchdown.
What did he do?
You couldn't see it on the broadcast because they cut away from him, but he catches it and then he gets to the back of the end zone and is like walking this way in the back of the end zone in front of and he's like started strutting like he was a little on a runway.
Because
he started to, and then it's like it clicked in his head like, oh, let's not do this.
Well, I asked him on the locker room on Sunday about his celebration. I was like, hey man, the three not senior, but the three upperclassmen receivers all scored touchdown, and two of them had great celebrations. What happened with yours? Because I didn't see his, but I did see Velus' celebration. Like Velus went Dancing with the Stars. And then Javante Payton with Mr. Miyake. I thought he was going to wax on and wax off.
Yeah, the broadcast cut away from Cedric after his touchdown because he didn't start doing it until like he was walking in front of the field goal post. It was something that you had to see if you were in person. But it was like he started to strut down a runway, like to show off in front, because it was in front of the Bama student section. So he was like,
"Good job,
yeah, look at me,
good job,
I'm
Tillman.
here, look at me, we're here." It's a 1-score game in the fourth quarter. He like went into a strut, and it's like it clicked in his head. Oh, I better not do this, and then he stopped.
Good job. Oh, here comes Ken. Everyone has their best game versus Tennessee defense this year. Pickett, Corral, Jameis Williams, Bryce Young. Like Corral had a good rushing day, but I mean, threw his first pick of the year against us. I don't know if Pickett had his best game against us. Pickett has been pretty dang good since our game. He played us at the beginning of the season, and now he is a Heisman Trophy candidate. That don't even make sense, Ken, that he would have his best game against us.
A lot of guys have had great games.
And then fall off and still be a Heisman Trophy candidate. That don't make sense.
Emory Jones did have his best game of the year.
I thought his best game was against Alabama.
Yeah. He didn't turn it over against us, though. And I think I think he had an interception or two against Bama.
Yeah, he had one interception because he was throwing as he was getting hit because he didn't have any protection. Like he was in his throwing motion, he got hit well under 3 seconds. So he had his best game against Alabama, man. Against a better defense, a better team, he had a better performance against Alabama. But listen, man, if you wanna, bang that narrative drum, that's cool. Tennessee's defense still leads the country in tackles for loss. Tennessee's defense is still thin. They're playing their ass off. But you play against good teams. You play against good players, and that's just part of it, man. And Jameson Williams had like multiple kickoff returns and broke like a record at Alabama a couple weeks ago. So he had a good day receiving.
That was his best game of the year as a receiver.
As a receiver, but like, I mean, he had like a career day a couple weeks ago. Yeah,
because he returned the kickoff after A&M scored. Yes, that happened.
He had a game where he had multiple returns for a touchdown. I don't know if that was A&M because it was a home game.
He had one against A&M. I don't know if that was the one with multiple.
Yeah,
like you just said.
Yeah, it was a home game. He had multiple returns for a touchdown. He like broke a record.
Kenny Pickett's best game was against Georgia Tech. There's several games that you could pick.
He's
Kenny
good.
Pickett. He has 23 touchdowns to 1 interception on the season. 23 to 1, completing 68.9% of his passes, 2,000 passing yards. This past weekend against Clemson, 302, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Georgia Tech, I think, at least looking at it statistically, Georgia Tech 389, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He did 403 and 5 against New Hampshire, but I'll give the nod to Georgia Tech since Georgia Tech's better. Western Michigan, he had 6 touchdowns, but they lost that game, so I don't know that you can consider that the best performance of the year.
Ken is on it today. He said I'm trying too hard. He says, I thought you liked keeping it real. Emory was great versus Tennessee. He was better against Alabama, dude. Alabama is a better defense than Tennessee. He was better against Alabama. What are you talking about? He led that team all the way back and had a chance to win on the last drive of the game. Alabama was a harder game for Emory Jones, and he was better against Alabama than Tennessee. Come on, man. Ken's trying too hard.
I'm going to disagree. Not that it's a huge disagreement, but he played perfect football against Tennessee. 209 passing yards, 144 rushing yards. The first player since Tim Tebow to do that. He played great against Alabama, but he had a turnover. I think he played perfect football against Tennessee.
Well,
and there's some context here, like you said, level of
the competition.
Talent. I get that, but he played perfect football against Tennessee. I do think his best performance of the year against Tennessee.
Okay. 865-255-03. Hour 2 is coming up. Stay with us.
When I made the move to my own studio, I was worried about this. I was worried about that. I was worried about, hey, did I get this piece of equipment? Did I get that piece of equipment? Does that sound good? Does that not sound good? One thing I didn't have to worry about, that was office furniture, because Office Furniture Outfitters met my furniture needs. With a 50,000 square foot facility, they have East Tennessee's largest selection and are the best value for new and used office furniture. Located in Knoxville, it's easy to find everything you need for your new space, including desks, file cabinets, chairs, conference tables, and more. Office Furniture Outfitters is turnkey. They came to my place, we mapped everything out that was needed, they delivered, and get this, set everything up. To learn more about what Office Furniture Outfitters can do for you, log on to ofonox.com. That's ofonox.com.
Is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you. Hello, is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you.
What are you doing?
Calling around to get the best rate on a car loan.
Why? Everyone knows Alcoa 10 is the best choice to purchase a vehicle or refinance your current loan. And with low interest rates and 90 days to your first payment, it's a no-brainer. You can even apply online and sign all the documents from the convenience of your home.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
Alcoa 10 Credit Union. It's so easy. Go to atfcu.com for details. Rates are dependent on credit score and equal housing lender.
Good morning, Swain Event family. Several of you, like Ben McKee, have reached out to me for real estate assistance this year, and I want to say thank you. I appreciate your trust in me to ask questions and help you navigate the real estate world.
That's right, Jennifer. Buying a home is a scary process, especially for a first-time home buyer. Jennifer recently helped my wife and I buy our first home and made the entire process seamless. Her willingness to go above and beyond is what sets her apart.
As always, feel free to give me a call. Jennifer Morris, Keller Williams Realty, 865-257-7897, or email me at jennifermorris865@gmail.com.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. Cheer on your favorite team with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
Touchdown or turnover is backed by Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong.
Touchdown or turnover, backed by Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, the place where you belong. Going to the NFL. Is the Tennessee Titans, Benjamin McKee of the Tennessee Titans, the best team right now in the NFL? Touchdown or turnover. Tennessee Titans, best team in the NFL currently.
In the NFL?
In the NFL, man. We doing power rankings, man.
You're just skipping the AFC?
NFL. In the league. Oh, the Titans the best team in the league, man. I'm not playing around. Right now in the league, are they the best team? Touchdown, turnover.
I would say turnover, and I don't even have to think twice about it. I mean, Cardinals are undefeated. Look great defensively and offensively. Looks like they're poised to make a serious run at things, and they have a fun Thursday night football game this week against the one-loss Packers. The Packers have turned it around since that week one debacle against the Saints, where everybody thought Aaron Rodgers was tanking the team on purpose, and Aaron Rodgers has played great football since. The Rams, I'm a big fan of the Rams' long-term potential in terms of what they can do offensively with Matthew Stafford. I think they have a ton of pieces on offense. Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, some of the best receivers in the NFL right there. Defensively, we know the Rams get after you. Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey. guys that are probably the best at their position in the entire league. So I like the Rams. Cardinals, I think, are both better than the Titans. I think the Packers are better than the Titans. I think the Bucks are better than the Titans. I think the folks aren't going to like this one because the Titans just beat them. But I think the Bills are better than the Titans. I think the Titans are one of the better teams in the league for sure. And I think with the Chiefs looking abysmal and looking like other teams in the AFC are going to have a chance this year, I think the Titans have a real chance at making a run at a Super Bowl appearance. They have what it takes offensively. I'm still not buying into the defense. I know that they just shut down the Chiefs and only allowed 3 points against the Chiefs, but Tyreek Hill fumbles at the 10-yard line. Mahomes' pick comes off of a deflected football in which Rashaan Evans had to make a diving catch for.
That's part of defense, though.
It is, but, I mean, it hit the receiver right in the shoulder pads and popped up in Evans. Like, I look at that play, and I that's more the Chiefs' lackluster effort than the Titans making a play.
You gotta give the defense the credit for making the play, though.
Yeah, I'm not saying that, but it's not like some play where Kevin Byard just made a great read on the ball and jumped it, or so. Like it's a deflected pass. It's ball up in the air. Like I just gave Rashaan Evans credit for making a heck of an effort play, diving and catching it. But it's a fluky turnover is my point. That is a fluky turnover. It is. Mahomes was running around with the ball. I don't know what he's doing on his fumble, running around with the ball stuck out like he's playing middle school football in his backyard. Just real amateur stuff from the Chiefs offense. Real careless. So I do think the window is open, is the point that I'm getting at, that the Titans can make a Super Bowl run. I'm going to need to see it more from the defense going forward, though. I think the defense will continue to be it's kryptonite, and they're going to have to prove otherwise. So, no, I don't think the Titans are the best team in the NFL right now, but I do think they are one of the better teams in the NFL.
Yeah, Titans defense have gotten better from the beginning of the season to this point, but, they're going to have to step up even more if the Titans want to ultimately get to the Super Bowl. So, for me, it's turnover. In the entire league, not yet. They're not the best team in the league just yet. When you look at the Cardinals, though, I look at most of the Cardinals' wins have been against teams that, you beat the Browns this past weekend without Baker Mayfield. You beat the 49ers. You beat the Texans. Now, you did have a very impressive win over the Rams on the road, where the Rams at one point was probably a top 5 team in the league. They was rolling. Beat the Jaguars, the Vikings, and then the first game of the season, you on the road and beat the Titans. So 2 out of the 7 wins, very impressive for the Cardinals. But they're a good team. Don't get me wrong. Not taking anything away from how good they are. They are a good football team. You don't beat the Rams the way they did if you're not. But let's see what happens when the Cardinals play the Packers, here this week on Thursday. Let's see what happens when the Cardinals play the Rams again. The Cardinals play the Cowboys later on in the season. They will be a team that makes the playoff and may make some damage. But I don't know how serious I'm taking them as far as threatening to get to the Super Bowl. But the best team in the league might be in the NFC. So I'm going to turn over right now for Titans' best team in the league. How about best team in the AFC? Tennessee Titans. Are you going touchdown turnover on that one? Or where are you going on that one?
I'm going turnover. I'm just not buying into the Titans' defense. I do think that they've gotten better for sure, but I think the Bills are the best all-around team in the AFC right now.
Yeah, I like the Buffalo Bills a lot too.
I don't know, people are not going to like that because the Titans just beat the Bills. And look, I get it, but I think if it were a 7-game series, 5-game series, I think the Bills would win the series. Obviously, that's not how football works. And Josh Allen is a slippage away from potentially winning that game on Monday night. The Titans, look, it's no disrespect. Just because I don't think that they're the best in the NFL or the best in the AFC doesn't mean that I'm disrespecting the Titans. They're still one of the best teams in football, one of the best teams, if not the best team in the AFC, and they have a legit chance at making it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they've had two really good wins against one really good team in the last 2 weeks. I won't say the Chiefs are a good team right now because they're not. They just they have the capabilities of being really, really good. And for the last 2 years, they've been semi-dynasty, winning a Super Bowl in one of those years and getting to the Super Bowl in another. So just because you beat the Chiefs this year doesn't mean it's the same Chiefs of the last 2 years, because this Chiefs team you can't even recognize right now. All right, let's
and the whole Bills beat the Titans argument doesn't ring true with me, because
Titans beat the Bills.
Yes, the Titans beat the Bills, so Titans are better than the Bills. The Steelers beat the Bills too. Are the Steelers better than the Bills? No.
Yeah,
they were better that one day.
Yep, that's how I look at it, man. Texas A&M is not a better football team than Alabama. They just was better that day. And I think when you look at the Bills, and if you watch them this season, they're more complete than the Titans. They're more complete. Offense, defense, special teams, they're more complete. But you certainly give your credit to the Titans for winning that night and being better that night. We'll see what happens later on in the season, though. But I like where the Titans are going. They are improving on defense, and I like how they're finding number two, getting number two and more involved, and he looks more comfortable. We know A.J. Brown's going to be comfortable. He's been there, but I think you'll need Julio to be involved offensively a little bit more to make the run that you want to make, the run you want to make, and then defensively you got to play better for sure. Ken says Tillman, my favorite player on the team, and he's the best receiver on the team by a country mile, despite all the criticism about his athletic ability for the last 2 years. He's always open, including getting behind DBs. He catches everything. Glad to see Hooker, who I love, is making him go-to guy. Tillman is the best receiver on this team, and the criticism about his athletic ability was fair when you compare it to other guys that play receiver in this conference. But Tillman has said, okay, this is me, but how do I be the best version of myself? You can only work with what God gave you, right? And so God didn't make Cedric Tillman a track star, but he became the best version of himself, which is being tough as nails mentality-wise. There were some – and when you make great catches, you kind of become a victim of your own success, right? Early in his career, he made those acrobatic catches, which made the Ole Miss catch seem like it was pretty routine. That kind of went through his hands. So you expect him to catch those. But for the most part, he has been consistent. He is the best receiver on this team. He is someone that when Tennessee needs third down and long, I'm looking at number 4. I'm looking at number 4 because I know he's going to run a good route. He's going to create separation, and he catches it. He's not going to go down and go backwards, go sideways.
He's going to fight.
He's going to go forward, and he's going to stiff arm our DB. He's going to put his hand on his face and drive into the ground. Cedric Tillman is the type of receiver that I enjoy watching. And he's worked his tail off. I wouldn't be surprised if he's the hardest working receiver. Usually the guys that work the hardest have the most confidence, and you can see it. And Tillman is playing with a crazy amount of confidence right now. Crazy amount of confidence. So Hooker, Volville says Hooker called his receivers the best in the nation. Where you rank them? Hooker saying that because that's his receivers. He's supposed to say that. What?
No comment.
Well, on the ranking?
I'm gonna let you answer that question, not me.
Dude, we're We're not a top 5 receiver group in the country.
Look, I already said that
we're not there. We're not there. We good. We've been good recently, but let's not get carried away here. Let's not get carried away.
That's why I'm letting you answer the question. I'm not saying anything. I already bashed the Titans.
You didn't bash the Titans. You just kept it real.
I already said Will Levis is going to be a problem on the ground. Said Emory Jones' best performance was against Tennessee. I let you take this one. Have at it, buddy.
Let's not get carried away. Our receivers have done a really good job as of late, but I mean, you look around the country, man. There's some dang good receivers, that started from kind of start to this point. Didn't have to go through a big time personnel change either. So we're good, but understand Hendon has to say that about his guys. Like, you're supposed to feel that way about your guy, just like the receivers are supposed to say Hendon is the best quarterback in the country. But we know that's not true, right? We know he's playing well, but he ain't the best quarterback in the country. That's just.
Well, I think he is. I mean, I think it's a complete bias nationally that Matt Corral, Bryce Young, Kenny Pickett getting all this attention. I mean, if folks didn't hate Tennessee as much as they do, Hendon Hooker would be getting the credit that he deserves.
Sure. That's why. That is why. Ken said people wasn't just comparing him to other receivers in the SEC, but also to the receivers of the roster. He heard Austin Price laugh about him in days gone by, as recently this spring when the question about who's going to be starting Tennessee starting receivers, and his name wasn't even brought up. He's an outstanding SEC receiver. I don't care how slow he is. Ken, you're talking about the spring. Players can improve. So Austin saw him in the spring, probably wasn't impressed, just like I saw him this spring, and I thought other guys were better. They do have this thing called summer, and you continue to work. So that's like he got better. He got better, Ken. Just like Hendon Hooker got better. There's a lot of guys that got better. That's why you practice. That's why you train. That's why you work out. So, Keppelman 3 says, I love Hyatt's speed, but watching him come off the ball, he seemed a step slower than other wide receivers. Have you studied why he's not seeing more balls thrown his way? Because he's not getting open. He not playing fast enough, and he got to get stronger. Mentally, he got to get tougher too. So, just be like Tillman. If I'm a young receiver on this squad, man, you need to be watching film with Tillman. You need to be watching Tillman. That's what you do. When I was a young receiver, I watched guys like Tony Brown, and you watch how those guys go about their day, how they go about their business. And you learn a lot. Mentality-wise, you learn a lot. And I think some of our young receivers need to watch Tillman work. And this game is mental. We had Jerron Carvin on Tennessee Prime last week, and he said 80% of the game is mental. If you ask players, they all have like a different percentage, right? Some guys will say 90, some guys will say 95. But one thing that is the same is that they're going to say the game mentally is more than physical. Like it's more mental than physical. That's what they all will say. But everyone's percentages might be a little different. Let's get to Mitch. Mitch, good morning.
Morning, Swain.
What's up, Mitch?
Not a lot. Just up here running around New York.
New York City?
Yeah, I come up here twice a week. But anyway, I didn't get to call in last week. You're talking about Cedric Tillman. In your opinion, do you think he should have caught that pass?
Ole Miss?
In the end zone? Yes.
Yeah.
That's okay. I didn't get to call in last week. Like I said, the times got screwed up on driving. But one other question I got, I don't know if y'all noticed it or not, but like in the Alabama game when Tyon went down, and he jumps up and runs off to the sideline, and Heupel stops him right there and had some words for him. Did y'all catch that?
Oh, I did not.
Yeah, it's like the training staff come out or whatever, and Evans just jumps up and like just going to the sideline. And when he did, like Heupel met him before he got off the field and was like, I don't know if he was telling him like, hey, you let them do their job, you let them evaluate you, don't you ever get up and run off that field again. I mean, it was like, he kind of talked to him kind of hard there for a minute, and then he, just went on off to the sideline. But I didn't know if y'all had caught that, and I noticed with Bumpus, the past couple of weeks when he goes down, he's grabbing his left side. I'm like, has dude got broke ribs or what? Because it's always that one spot on his left side that he's grabbing. So I didn't know if y'all knew anything about that or not.
No, I know there's a process when you want to go out. So, early in the season, I remember when Jabari Small was trying to get out. I think it was a home game. I think it was Ole Miss game. He was trying to get out, and then it was a running play straight to him. It was a dive, and I think it was like a no gain type of run. But there's a process, and I think every position is different. So some positions, you look to the sideline, you tap your helmet, and you just come on out, and somebody can just go in and replace you. At the Ole Miss game, I saw where Alante just took himself out, no problems, no questions asked, and then Kamal Hadden went in. So every position is different. Running back, it may be different. I don't know what the protocol there with running backs, and hey, if you want to come out, but you do have two guys that have been banged up for the last couple of weeks. But I didn't notice that.
I took it as Josh Heupel telling Tyon Evans to stay on the ground and A, let the trainers check you out, B, let the defense get more of a rest.
865-255-03. We will be back after this.
At work, can't call in? Don't feel bad. You can talk to the guys on the text box. It's part of the free Swain Event app.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. Cheer on your favorite team with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
Litter is a big problem in Tennessee, but together we can do big things. We can make our cities, our waterways, our roads cleaner and safer. The Tennessee Department of Transportation is committed to reducing litter in our communities, but we need your help to do it. There are over 100 million pieces of litter in our roads at any given time, and it costs TDOT about $19 million a year just to clean it up. The first step to keeping Tennessee beautiful is to rally behind these 3 simple words. Nobody trashes Tennessee. Join the Nobody Trashes Tennessee movement at nobodytrashestennessee.com. Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. Firms from Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham have stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local law firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. They are our neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help. JC's Tree and Landscaping Service specializes in quality tree work done at an affordable price. Trimming and removing trees are their specialty. They also offer other services like land clearing, stump grinding, crane services, and all of your basic landscaping needs for both commercial and residential. JC's will give you a free estimate and beat any written quote by a competitor to guarantee that you get the lowest price around. Don't risk your land with a fly-by-night service. JC's Tree and Landscaping is licensed and insured. Give them a call at 865-599-3799.
Guys, your health right now is more important than ever. I recommend Low T Center. That's where I get my levels checked. It all starts with the annual wellness exam where they do a comprehensive health assessment exclusively for men, making it quick and easy to take care of your health. And now they offer monitored self-inject at-home testosterone treatment. Most insurance is accepted. Go to lowtcenter.com now to book your appointment and make your health a priority. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
I just wanted to come by and congratulate you on the great work you've been doing.
I like your style. You remind me of a young me.
Failure is not an option.
That boy is good.
Don't remind yourself, nobody built like you. You design yourself.
Attaboy. Attaboy is brought to you by Made in Tennessee Business Fiber Internet from Iris Networks. Find business solutions for you at irisnetworksusa.com.
Time for Attaboy here on the program. Attaboy is brought to you by Iris Networks, USA.com. That's their website where they specialize in fiber, internet, and voice, a Tennessee business connecting Tennessee businesses. Ben, where are you going for your Attaboy today?
I am giving an Attaboy to VFL Alvin Kamara.
Ballin'.
Who last night became the fastest player in the NFL to reach 3,000 rushing and 3,000 receiving yards. He did so in just 66 games, 4 games faster than the previous leader. So, AK is the fastest player in NFL history to reach 3,000 rushing and receiving yards. Did so in 66 games. So AK continues to ball and gets a big attaboy. Looked good last night.
So cool to see him and Marquez North, man. Both Tennessee guys.
Marquez North and Marquez Callaway.
Golly, Marquez Callaway doing their thing. Both Tennessee guys. And Callaway just, you would never thought that he was an undrafted free agent by how he plays, how important he is to the Saints offense, for one of the most respected and best coaches in the league. So Callaway, Kamara, just making Tennessee fans proud. But that's a good attaboy, man. I got one for Peyton Manning's best buddy. That is Tom Brady, who threw his 600th touchdown pass over the weekend against the Chicago Bears. And he is the first quarterback in NFL history to reach that mark. He is the only person in the 600 club there in the NFL. So, attaboy to Tom Brady. And, hey, man, Tom Brady is like super, super, super likable. I see people all the time going, man, I hate that Tom Brady's so likable. He's super likable, man. Now he with the Buccaneers, he can be himself. He's always been this cool. He just couldn't be, I guess, when he was up there in New England. But congratulations to Tom Brady. 600 touchdown pass. Unfreaking believable right there. So those are the attaboys for today. 865-255-03 is our number to the Iris Networks hotline. And let's get to the hotline. Let's bring in Mitch. Mitch, good morning.
Not Mitch.
Who we got?
I forgot who I put on hold. I'm sorry. Good morning. How are you? You can blame me.
Forrest.
Blame Swain. Forrest, that's right. It's Forrest.
Forrest, what's up, Forrest?
Forrest wants to talk about next year's outlook.
Morning, guys.
Hey, good morning.
Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Yeah,
love the show.
Thank you.
Ben, think you're doing a great job over at VolQuest now. Happy you're over there with Kane.
Yeah, Ben is answering the phone. So Forrest says, happy that you're at VolQuest, that you're doing a good job with you and Kane.
Thank you, Forrest. I really appreciate that. And sorry I forgot that you told me your name was Forrest.
Oh, you're good. First time it's actually ever happened. It's not really a forgettable name. But, so I might be jumping the gun a little bit. I mean, I was thinking about going up to Lexington this after the bye week, but got work that weekend. Don't think I'll be able to make it. I'm a season ticket holder. We'll be in-house for the Georgia game. Got my fingers crossed there. But I was kind of looking forward towards next season, you know. We're not losing too much out of our super senior group. We should be returning a bunch of the team, hopefully at least. Next year, you know, they should have I believe I got it right, the second Jumbotron in and the party deck. Environment should be good. They got 2 tune-up games. I can't remember against whoever they replaced Army with in
Akron.
The opening game of the season. Yeah, Akron. And then they got a good road test game against Pittsburgh up there in Heinz Field.
Yep. No
they
Kenny
won't
Pickett.
have Kenny Pickett anymore.
Exactly.
That should be towards our favor. Looking forward to that game, but it sets up for, if everything falls our way, a real good home environment game against Florida. And, yeah, I'm excited, man. And, you know, Heupel's got me 100% bought in. The team's fighting hard. They're going out there giving us something we can be proud of and cheer for. And, yeah, they got me fired up, man. I can't wait. I was just curious what your guys' thoughts were.
Absolutely, Forrest. Thank you so much for the call, man. Love to hear you a lot more on the program, so thank you for listening. But Forrest, I think you're right. I like our schedule next year. I mean, when it first came out, people were like, oh, my gosh. Tennessee's schedule is always hard. But this is very favorable. And we talked about this at length when the schedule first came out. But on the road at Pittsburgh, no Kenny Pickett. Ball State, no Kenny Pickett at Pittsburgh, Akron. And then you play Florida at home. Then you play
bye week
LSU after a bye week. And LSU will have a brand new coach. They'll have people hit the transfer portal. No matter who they hire, that's going to happen. So they'll be a program in transition. And then you play Alabama. Then UT Martin, Kentucky, at Georgia, Mizzou, South Carolina, and Vanderbilt. Like that Alabama-Georgia game, there's 2 games in between it. So, I mean, I think the schedule sets up real nicely for Tennessee. All right, let's get back to the phones.
Turkey Man.
Turkey Man, good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Turkey Man.
For all the prayers, by the way. And it's just great news for my wife and me. But I just want to tell you guys, everybody out there, pray for us and have some hearts and minds. Thank you much. Getting back to football, let's get back to talking sports a little bit, if that's okay. He's talking about Tom Brady's 600 game or 600 touchdown pass, wasn't it?
Yep, 600.
What was the 600 games, right?
No, 600 touchdown passes in his career.
Okay. Did you see what his receiver did?
Yeah, gave the ball to a fan, not knowing that it was his 600th touchdown pass, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and got the ball and offered the fan like a signed jersey, a different game ball, and $1,000 from the team shop.
And season tickets for remaining of the year and next season.
So they added on to that?
According to the graphic that Monday Night Football showed.
Still
what would that ball been worth?
A lot of money.
A lot more than what he got.
It's about being a good person, so not cashing out.
You can still be a good person and cash out.
Yeah, that's good. anyhow, I thought that was a pretty strange deal. But the officials, you know, I've got to watching these officials, and they have cost teams that are fighting for their life games. We're not only getting bad calls. I seen. Well, of course, in that game against Alabama, I even seen an official look over the quarterback after a call and kind of give a head bob to him. I mean, it's ridiculous of how this officiating is affecting the outcome of games or leaning its direction. And I know we talk Tennessee football, but when you look at other conferences and games being affected by whom is ranked higher or whom could get in the playoffs, it's not just an SEC. I seen a game. I don't know if you've seen this or not. But I'm gonna leave on this. I don't want to get rambling this morning. But I don't know if you've seen this. But in Kansas game, I seen where they were really putting on Oklahoma and really in it. Mm-hmm. Well, there was a play that the Kansas player, no, it was Oklahoma's player. Oklahoma's player handed off the ball. That quarterback handed off the ball. He went to line of scrimmage. I think he was past the line of scrimmage, but he was at least up the line of scrimmage. He was driven back. The quarterback comes and takes the ball from him from the front. So that would have been a handoff forward or a forward pass you can't do after you went to the line of scrimmage or beyond. That's the way I understand it. And then he in turn went and made a first down. They went and looked at it and give it a first down for Oklahoma. Now, something's wrong with that. There's so many wrongs with that it's even funny. It's almost like the fumble in the end zone that we had to deal with. But I'm seeing it more and more in affecting the outcome of a team that, you know, Oklahoma, in my opinion, shouldn't be undefeated right now.
It is crazy that as bad as SEC refs are, the SEC has the best refs in the country. Isn't that crazy?
The Oklahoma play was legal, by the way.
I didn't see it, but I'm just speaking in general about referees.
Yeah, so officiating is bad across the board, but SEC, when you are talking about how it means more and you go out and you tout the championships in football and the championships in baseball and how basketball is here, and like when you point at all the accolades that you have accumulated, you can't ignore officiating being on par with the rest of the country. You can't make an excuse and use that narrative like, oh, well, it's bad everywhere. Well, do you put yourself with everybody else when it comes to winning? No, you don't.
Nope.
Well, separate yourself and be better in officiating too, because I know the SEC was definitely pounding their chest on how they handled COVID. They handled it the best, right? Mm-hmm. So you take pride in handling all the other things the best. Get better officiating.
Yep.
So that's my whole point. And then, like I said, the Oklahoma play where the running back will stop behind the line of the game. You know, Oklahoma's quarterback, Caleb Williams, grabbed the football and advanced it for first down. It's legal. You can do that. You just can't throw the ball forward. It has to be a backwards pass for it to be a lateral. But, you know, that was a legal play. But Turkey Man, the point remains that officiating is a problem across the country, and the SEC just needs to do a better job of that. I mean, there's holding calls every play. You're gonna miss that. There's pass interference, offense and defense. You're gonna miss those. But game-changing plays,
The egregious ones.
the game-changing plays where a touchdown is on the board here. Tennessee in the last 2 games, it seems like they have been screwed out of a touchdown, or at least stopping a touchdown. So, Alabama, that was a little awkward. You had a Tennessee player come out with the fumble. He clearly fumbled before reaching the plane. And then Ole Miss, we don't need to really go back and talk about that. We know what that was. So let's go back to the phones, and then we'll go to the text box. Who we got?
Chip.
Chip, what's up, Chip? Good morning.
Good morning, guys. How we doing?
Good, Chip. How you, man?
I'm hanging in, man. Hanging in. Just real quick on that Kansas-Oklahoma play. I will disagree with you on that, because if you want to look at the Matt Corral strip sack and then that play, which one is forward progress? They should have stopped the play on that, that Oklahoma when he was, being held up or whatever. I mean, to me,
Chip. It's legal. The Big 12 released a statement saying it was a legal play.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, if you compare those 2 plays, which one would you think is closer to forward progress?
The Oklahoma play.
Stopping the. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean that's subjective though too. I mean,
yeah,
that's
I get it.
Judgment.
It was kind of a. Yeah, it was a bang play, but I'm just saying that one of those 2 calls was closer to forward progress, and I would go with. Anyway, aside from that, question for you guys. So I think that, this recruiting class coming up is going to be pretty important, but I think that the transfer portal is going to probably be more effective for Tennessee this year.
For sure.
But my question is this, and I've asked this for you guys, and I know you probably won't have an answer, but when it comes to the NCAA investigation and stuff, is that going to affect transfers? So, are they going to start taking away? Are they going to take away scholarships? Do you think that we'll, get out of this unscathed or what? And I'll hang up and listen. The reason why I say the transfer portal is important because obviously it's showing up this year. We have, several kids that transferred in that have completely and totally helped. Tremendously. Main one being obviously, Mr. Hooker.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'll hang up and listen.
Yeah, I wish I had an answer for you on exactly, what's going to be the punishment there, and if it's going to be scholarships or if it's going to be, a bowl, ban. I mean, a bowl ban without scholarship reductions would be ideal if you're trying to bring in as many people as possible. But if you're trying to carry momentum from this year to next, then a bowl will be super, super important as well. And then at a bowl, you can have mid-year guys practice with the team too. So they get those 15 practices, which is like the spring before the spring. So it's hard for me to believe like today that Tennessee's going to go unscathed, to be honest. But I think the longer this thing draws out, the punishment at the end may be less severe, but the punishment or the negative effects that Tennessee is taking is clear because it is being drawn out so long and there's no closure. And so the people that are recruiting against Tennessee can make up anything and say anything, and Tennessee won't have any backup to really defend themselves and point to those naysayers' point of being wrong. Like I remember hearing a story about Callaway Williams, and Callaway Williams came on a visit to Tennessee. Boom, he committed, and then within a couple hours he committed to Auburn because Auburn, got into his ear and told him that Tennessee was about to be on probation and got in trouble. Tennessee never got in trouble at all. Well, imagine that. Like Tennessee had not got in trouble and other schools were still doing that, and one recruit believed it. There's obvious recruiting violations that's public about what happened in Tennessee. Coaches are fired. So it's just more believable for a recruit when a coach from another team, whether he is lying or telling the truth, say, yo, man, Tennessee's about to get hammered. They're about to get slammed. That recruit's going to believe it. So that's what Tennessee is fighting. And that hurts Tennessee probably more than anything. So, yeah, you could draw it out, and maybe the punishment at the end is not as severe as it would be, a year ago, 2 years ago, whatever. But, like, the hearsay, the speculation, that hurts Tennessee in recruiting. Now, as far as transfers, I think it just depends on how many years a player has. So if a player has 3 years left of eligibility and he's picking a school, and, well, okay, for those 3 years, that school's going to be on probation. There's a 2-year bowl ban or 1-year bowl ban, and there's all these scholarships that's going to be hit, and so your team is going to struggle and not be good. I don't know if you want to be on a team that's not good for 3 years, but we're talking like a player that comes in and he's like a Javonte Payton, and he's a 1-year stopgap guy, and he's really good, and all he cares about is playing in the right system, and he don't really care about missing one game from a bowl ban. He's like, listen, I'm trying to get some film. I'm trying to make some plays. I'm trying to be with some guys I'm happy to play with and coach staff that I like. This might be the best place for him. So it just really depends. But no real answer on when we gonna hear anything and what it's gonna be. Nothing of that sort. So
it's gonna be an impact player, dynamic playmaker, like a Jamison Williams at Alabama, a Wan'Dale Robinson at Kentucky. It's going to be that type of player that Tennessee brings in, or a 3-year player, possibly 2, but more so a guy that has several years remaining of eligibility. John K. has a cooking question for you about his brisket that he recently cooked over the weekend. He cooked it at 225 to 250. Wrapped it when it hit 160, was tougher than he would have liked, thinking that he took it off too early. What temp do you take yours off at usually?
Yeah, you probably took it off too early. That's probably what happened. Yeah, 160, 165 is when I wrap it. Some people wrap it in aluminum foil. I like to wrap mine in butcher paper because it breathes. You create this beautiful crust from the moment you put it on the smoker up to the 165 temperature, and then you put it in aluminum foil, and then you just lose all that crust because in that foil it just steams, it gets soft. So I like to wrap mine in butcher paper. So I wrap it in butcher paper at 165, and I'll take it up to like 208, and I take it off and I let it sit for a minimum of an hour. Like I don't even open it. Try to get a little smell. Try to get a little taste. Nope. I wrap it and let it sit for an hour so those juices can redistribute, and then I slice it. And the temperature's gonna go up a little bit even during the rest process. So yeah, your brisket should be very, very tender if you do that. Now there was a time when I was taking mine off at like 200. It was getting up to like 204, 205, and I was like, man, what's going on? This is a little tough. But that little small adjustment that I made, taking it off at 208, made all the difference in the world. So when you slice that brisket and you put the middle of the brisket on your finger and it just lays down on both sides, that's when you know it's tender. Damn you, John K. Now we thinking about brisket over here, man. Might have to smoke one this weekend. Man, you gonna be gone, man. You can't get any. But you'll be in Memphis. You'll be all right.
Yeah, I'm gonna be good.
You'll be all right, man. You'll be okay for barbecue, man, if you're gonna be in Memphis. Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Be right back.
I'm Vince Moore, wide receiver, VFL 1991, and you're listening to the Swain Event.
When I made the move to my own studio, I was worried about this. I was worried about that. I was worried about, hey, did I get this piece of equipment? Did I get that piece of equipment? Does that sound good? Does that not sound good? One thing I didn't have to worry about, that was office furniture, because Office Furniture Outfitters met my furniture needs. With a 50,000 square foot facility, they have East Tennessee's largest selection and are the best value for new and used office furniture. Located in Knoxville, it's easy to find everything you need for your new space, including desks, file cabinets, chairs, conference tables, and more. Office Furniture Outfitters is turnkey. They came to my place, we mapped everything out that was needed, they delivered, and get this, set everything up. To learn more about what Office Furniture Outfitters can do for you, log on to ofonox.com. That's ofonox.com. If you're coming to Knoxville and need a place to stay, do yourself a favor and book a room at Hampton Inn Paper Mill, also known as the Hampton on the Hill. This award-winning property is literally in the top 5% of all Hampton Inn properties. The GM, Stephen Lawrence, is a good old local boy who grew up in the business around Knoxville. He and his staff are always available, always willing to help, and will go above and beyond for their guests. The newest Hampton Inn in Knoxville has clean, affordable rooms, flat screens, fridges, and microwaves in every room. Plus, breakfast is included in every rate. Not to mention, there's also a pool and fitness center on site. If it wasn't so close to amazing restaurants, bars, and shopping, you would never want to leave. At only 6 miles from campus, you're still right in where the big orange action is. Go to HamptonInn.com, search Knoxville, and book your room at the Hampton Inn Paper Mill or call 865-693-5400. We're here with Dr. Michael Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine to discuss PRP, platelet-rich plasma. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, Achilles tendonitis, or tennis elbow, you should give them a call.
Good to be back, Jason. We specialize in non-surgical orthopedics, so we treat damaged tendons, ligaments, and joints, including rotator cuff injuries, knee injuries, and elbow and foot problems by using ultrasound-guided injections with PRP. And this form of treatment helps stimulate the body's own reparative process and assist in the healing of damaged tissue.
Doc, what makes your training different than others?
I've been practicing in Knoxville for over 26 years, and I'm certified in interventional regenerative orthopedic medicine through the American Academy of Orthopedic Medicine. They've been the leader in this form of treatment since 1983. I also teach this form of treatment on a national and international basis to other physicians, residents, and medical students. Here in our clinic, I'm the one doing the procedure, and we're using your own PRP, which are concentrated platelets, to treat your injury. So in other words, Jason, it comes from you and it goes back to you. So you know exactly what you're getting and know exactly the level of training involved.
Do what the pros, college athletes, and I have done, and visit them online at trsportsmedicine.com. Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, East Tennessee's leader in PRP therapy.
At Iris Networks, we know that business communication solutions are critical to your success. Since 1998, we've been helping businesses in East Tennessee by providing reliable and affordable high-speed fiber internet and voice solutions. That's why Iris Networks is your Tennessee communications partner. With internet speeds up to 100 gigs and work-from-anywhere solutions like mobile apps, video conferencing, and file sharing, we make sure you can stay connected to your customers and great communities we live and work in. Iris Networks, because just like you, Tennessee is our home.
All right, it's time for around the SEC. It just means more, Ben. Tell us how it means more.
Except when it comes to officiating. Then we just settle for being
like everybody else.
A little bit better than everybody else, despite everybody stinking. Missouri linebacker Jamie Petway has entered the transfer portal.
No, thank you.
Yeah, I'm good. Third-year player.
Where's he from?
Missouri.
No, thank you.
And he plays linebacker.
Anybody on defense? No, thank you.
Yep. He's been there for 3 years.
No, thank you.
Has played quite a bit.
No, I'm good.
Which even furthers the point, in my opinion, if he has played a bit. Florida has lost another commitment. Julian Humphrey, a 4-star defensive back, has decommitted from Florida.
How many is that? 3?
3. He's the second top 100 prospect to decommit from Dan Mullen following the loss to LSU. Florida's got issues, man. Do you think it's good to root for a Georgia win over Florida, or a Florida win over Georgia this weekend because that keeps Dan Mullen there? Or do you think that if it wins, it may get Florida back on track? Because obviously knocking off number 1 Georgia would be huge for that Florida program and recruiting and whatnot. You see what I'm asking? Like, we need Florida to win so that they keep Dan Mullen, but we don't want them to win enough to where the program starts thriving.
Oh, I get what you're saying. I'm gator chomping in my head right now. So yeah, I get what you're saying for sure. I get what you're saying. Kind of like how God, I hate this, man, because we like Danny White. He's done a good job, but hey, man, no one's afraid of Mike White there at Florida, right? We're afraid of Bill Donovan. No one's afraid of Mike White as a basketball coach there. Just like Dan Mullen, we're talking the Gators. They should never be losing 3 commitments in a week. They should always be recruiting at a high level. So, yeah, I mean, go Gator. Go Gator this week.
No, I'm with you. I just
Percy
hope
Harvey,
a win over number 1 Georgia doesn't do too much for them.
Coach Irvin Meyer, Percy Harvey. Go get it. Get it done this weekend.
That's right. SEC Players of the Week, real quick. Bryce Young at Alabama was the Offensive Player of the Week. The Defensive Player of the Week was Ole Miss linebacker Chance Campbell. He had 10 tackles, forced fumble, a sack, and leading Ole Miss past LSU. Ole Miss held LSU to 77 rushing yards. Ole Miss forced a season-high 3 turnovers as well. Ionis Smith was the Special Teams Player of the Week. He's a punt returner for Texas A&M and had a 95-yard punt return against South Carolina to give A&M an early 7-0 lead. And if you have not seen that punt return, go watch it because it was pretty spectacular. Made several guys miss.
So he made Special Teams Player of the Week just from that one run, huh?
95 yards.
There it is.
95 yards. It was pretty. Because I was thinking that maybe Tennessee gets the Special Teams Player of the Week. Deshaun Rucker for the blocked punt.
I know, man. That's a great play.
It was. But punt return was pretty remarkable if you go watch it. Sam Williams at Ole Miss, Tyree Johnson at Texas A&M were the 2 defensive linemen of the week. The offensive lineman of the week was Kenyon Green from A&M, as well as Charles Cross from Mississippi State. The freshman of the week. You ready for this name, Swain? Receiver from Mississippi State.
That's his name?
No.
Oh.
His name is Ra-Ra.
Ra-Ra.
Ra-Ra Thomas. R-A capital R-A.
I like it. Ra-Ra.
Ra-Ra. Caught a career-high 5 passes on 6 targets, surpassing his career total. Here's my thing. SEC Freshman of the Week goes to Lil Ra-Ra for catching 5 passes against Vandy when Deshaun Rucker blocked a punt against Alabama.
You know how weird that would be if he played at LSU? And every time Coach Orgeron talked, Ra-Ra was like, huh? What? No, I ain't talking to you. But you said rah. I thought you were talking to me. That'd be very confusing. He would transfer like, man, Coach Orgeron always playing games. Always calling my name and not saying anything. His name is Ra-Ra. I love the name. I love all these like Jack Rabbit, Jenkins, and Poop Stain Jones.
Jack Rabbit's doing too much.
I like all these guys that adopt childhood nicknames, like With the Bed Johnson. Like I think it's cool, man. We got one coming in, Squirrel.
I like Squirrel.
I like Squirrel. I like it, man. Hour 3 coming up.
Don't feel bad. You can talk to the guys on the text box. It's part of the free Swain Event app. Swain Event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
Guys, your health right now is more important than ever. I recommend Low T Center. That's where I get my levels checked. It all starts with the annual wellness exam where they do a comprehensive health assessment exclusively for men, making it quick and easy to take care of your health. And now they offer monitored self-inject at-home testosterone treatment. Most insurance is accepted. Go to lowtcenter.com now to book your appointment and make your health a priority. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
At Iris Networks, we know that business communication solutions are critical to your success. Since 1998, we've been helping businesses in East Tennessee by providing reliable and affordable high-speed fiber internet and voice solutions. That's why Iris Networks is your Tennessee communications partner. With internet speeds up to 100 gigs and work-from-anywhere solutions like mobile apps, video conferencing, and file sharing, we make sure you can stay connected to your customers and great communities we live and work in. Iris Networks, because just like you, Tennessee is our home.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. Firms from Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham have stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local law firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. They are our neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you. Hello, is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you.
What are you doing?
Calling around to get the best rate on a car loan.
Why? Everyone knows Alcoa 10 is the best choice to purchase a vehicle or refinance your current loan. And with low interest rates and 90 days to your first payment, it's a no-brainer. You can even apply online and sign all the documents from the convenience of your home.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
Alcoa 10 Credit Union. It's so easy. Go to atfcu.com for details. Rates are dependent on credit score and equal housing lender.
When you start your own business, you know that branding can make or break a new venture. That's why Swain Event relies on 42nd Street. 42nd Street is a strategy agency focused on finding creative, open-minded, results-driven solutions to brand design. After over a decade of operations in East Tennessee, the brand architects at 42nd Street have the experience and creative know-how to ensure the success of your business branding, logo, web presence, and more. To see a real-life example of their amazing work, you can check out our website at swainevent.com. Don't trust the branding of your business to just anyone. Check out my friends at 42nd Street online at 42st.com or give them a call at 865-382-7007. 42nd Street, brand, strategy, design.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. Cheer on your favorite team with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
Hour 3 of the Swain Event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
To start hour number 3, let's go to the phones, the Iris Networks hotline, Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Let's get to Chris in JC. Did I get that right, Chris? Good morning.
Yes.
Hey, Chris.
long-time listeners. I've been listening for about 5 years. It's my first time calling in. I just want to thank you guys for what you do.
Yes.
I just had a quick question for you all.
Yes, sir.
With the bye week, we plan on getting injuries and people that are banged up back. But on the field, where do you plan to see the biggest improvement when we get back into action next week against Kentucky?
I mean, that's a good question. We had that question early in the show, and Ben talked about just the tackling improving. I asked, how do you work on tackling if you're not tackling? And the way you do that is make sure that you are in a good tackling position, work on the fundamentals, and you can correct those things. A lot of diving at feet, that's not going to work. Diving at legs, and you got to be able to run through arm tackles, run your hands with your eyes up, getting to the fundamentals of bringing down ball carriers when you have them. The second guy, third guy, you strip the football, but we need to get back to game tackling. Orange swarm is what a couple staffs ago used to go by. That's what we need to get back to. So I would say tackling. I think our throw and catch game, us catching the ball a certain type of way, high pointing it. I think Javonte Payton had a pass against Ole Miss where he high pointed it very well, and the DB was able to come in and knock it out. On that, you kind of want to catch it high and immediately snatch it away and tuck it real quick. And so just things like that you want to work on. Going back to the fundamentals, I think offensively, just finishing blocks, man. Finishing blocks. We saw, at least when I was at the Ole Miss game, I saw, an initial contact being made, but not finishing blocks, running your feet and driving guys back. Defenders are going to take your blocks and then they're going to shed it if you don't run your feet. So you got to run your feet, get your hands inside. Just the fundamentals, Chris, man. Just real simple stuff. But I mentioned this earlier in the show, but when you prep so much for the opponent each week and it changes every week, you sometimes just forget about working on yourself. And I think the first couple of days of this week is going to be about working on yourself, the fundamentals, the basics, the first week of fall camp, getting back to that. But there's areas in every position where we can improve at. Running backs, working on long runs, getting our feet up, not letting, one shoelace tackle bringing us down. Quarterbacks. Hendon's been pretty good. Don't lie about that. But just, the accuracy, just continue to improve in that area. Tight ends, we've put the ball on the ground. We haven't caught everything, so we got to be better there. Defensive line, helping with some of the quarterback runs. That's really the whole defense there. But there's so many areas we can improve on. We are getting more out of less, no doubt about it. But we still can get better, and I think they'll do that this week on top of getting healthy. So those are just some quick thoughts.
And then one more question.
Yeah.
I think Kentucky might be probably the second best rushing defense that we've seen. How do you see our offensive line holding up against their front seven? I'm going to go ahead and hang up and listen to you guys' thoughts. Thank you.
Hey, thank you.
Great thought. Tennessee's got to get healthy for that reason alone.
Yeah, Georgia's going to be the first. Alabama don't have those Jonathan Allens like they used to, but they're pretty good. They did stop us rushing the football. I think we had our lowest rushing output of the season, but it was without Hendon Hooker running a lot. But man, Tennessee only had 78 yards rushing, only 2.5 yards per rush. So Alabama, Georgia, Kentucky is going to be your hardest games to rush the football against, even though Ole Miss, I thought we would do more rushing the football than what we did. But I understand the K injury and kind of how that impacted. But hopefully, like you just said, Ben, the healthier Hendon is and the healthier our offensive line is, the more success I think we can have in a run. I'm not expecting us to just gash Kentucky at all because they're a good rush defense team. But I am expecting us to be able to run the football in a way that makes them respect the run and be able to open up the pass and take advantage of a safety in the box a time or two. So that's what I do expect. I don't expect us to just write off 200 yards rushing. But again, just be respectable And, hopefully we get 4 yards a carry at minimum. But you have to understand Kentucky is a good football team, and a rushing defense is one of their strong suits as well.
It's what Mark Stoops has always done best.
Pride himself on
at
that.
Kentucky. That front seven is really good. They are legit. You can question Kentucky as a whole. You can question whether they are a legit good football team. The one thing you can't question is that defensive front. They are legit.
27th in the country, only allowing 119 yards per game. So the teams that are in front of them in the SEC are Mississippi State, Alabama, Georgia. Georgia's number 1, Alabama's number 2, Mississippi State, which is weird, is 9, and then you have Kentucky, 27. So
got to get healthy.
Yep, got to get healthy.
Tennessee missed Cade Mays on Saturday. Best offensive lineman going up against Alabama. You missed Cade Mays, and I thought you could definitely tell that Hendon did not have the gear that we were used to seeing from him in previous games because of that knee injury that he suffered against Ole Miss. I thought you could tell that it wasn't necessarily bothering him. It just he didn't have the same giddy up, same elusiveness, same burst. At least I didn't think that he did. So let's get Hendon healthy this week. Let's get Cade Mays back. Let Cooper continue to get even healthier after getting back against Alabama, and that's to me the biggest thing is just getting guys back to where they're not having the gut through playing.
Yeah, it was certainly different. Let's get back to the phones.
We've got Jay.
Jay, good morning.
Guys, good morning.
What's up?
Man, I'm sitting here enjoying this nice cool weather, Swain. So I got a little polar bear in my blood, so I like this cooler weather.
Cooler than the polar bear's toenails. Oh yeah.
Well, those young kids don't know what that's from, Swain.
No, they don't know nothing about that. They'll have to Google it. I ain't telling them. I ain't doing their work for them.
Hey, guys, I was kind of thinking about the future on this, in the bye week, kind of, and where Tennessee's going and where they're going to be next year. When I think about it and where we're going to be from a roster standpoint, obviously fans just expect linear improvement because that's how they are, and they just want, you were this year, you better be that much better next year. And if you're not, you're doing a terrible job. That's just kind of how they see it. But to me, are we not going to pretty much kind of have the same roster issues because we're going to be losing some key guys? And I know we got a recruiting class coming in, but you can't rely on just a bunch of true freshmen. To me, when I look at what this roster might potentially be next year, it just seems like we're kind of going to be around roster-wise at 6-7 win range, maybe 8, if it's a really good year. What do y'all think?
I mean, I look at the schedule, and listen, our roster is not going to be, night and day different. It should be better because you'll have a roster that will be the second year inside of a new, this system. Not going to be necessarily new for them, and then you'll add some more pieces that you have attracted in how you have played this season too. So, I think it'll be better. And I think the schedule is more favorable. So I look at that win total, and I see 7 to 8 regular season wins. Looking at that schedule.
Are we going to BYU? Is that our thing next year?
At
next
Pittsburgh.
No, we're going Pittsburgh.
I think BYU's the next year. BYU's the next year or the year after, 23, 24, 25, somewhere in there.
Do we not have a game with Oklahoma? I thought. Is that not coming up sometime in the next few years?
It was supposed to be last year. I think we have another series in like
that's right.
26,
That's right.
27. I think at the end of the decade, Tennessee and Oklahoma play.
For what?
That's right. I think we have one with Nebraska, unless that got canceled.
Nope, you're right. I'm trying to pull up future FBS schedules, which is an awesome website for future scheduling. I think Wisconsin's on there as well.
Wow.
Let's put Clemson on there, man. Let's put them on right.
They get Clemson in the bowl game, right?
Yeah,
I am
the Duke
praying we get
Mayo's
them in the bowl game.
All right.
This year. Let's play them this year.
Here's what we got coming up, Jay.
Yeah.
We got at BYU the year after next. So at Pitt
That's a
next
beautiful
year.
setting.
Yep, at BYU in 2023. Home against Oklahoma in 2024. We don't go to Oklahoma because that game got canceled last year.
Tired of playing Oklahoma, man.
I am too, but maybe we'll finally beat them for once.
Heupel might be motivated.
Yeah, he will be very motivated. Maybe he'll be the head coach at Oklahoma.
Boy, you better stop, man.
I'm just kidding. 2025, Tennessee opens against Syracuse in Atlanta. That'll be interesting. 2026 at Nebraska. 2027 home against Nebraska. 2028 open the season with West Virginia and Charlotte. And that's all that's
I hate
on
that
there right now. Well, that's a Philip Fulmer deal, so you can thank him for that.
I'm so for home and home. I think the best thing about college football is the traditions, the different environments. How Big Ten football is different than SEC, and going to the different environments. I think that's awesome. These stadiums these games at the Panthers Stadium. That's so stupid. But anyways.
Jay, when we were talking about schedules earlier, when we were looking, my thought was 7 to 9 because
regular season win?
Yes, 7 to 9, somewhere in that range. And I know that's kind of broad or a large range, but I feel like that's fair considering it's October of the season before.
But Ben, aren't we? I mean, look, we're losing Velus Jones, we're losing Javonte Payton, we're probably going to lose Cade Mays. We could lose. I mean, we're losing some dudes. I think
we'll get another Javonte Payton. You can go get another Javonte.
Yeah, and look, I get that. It's the schedule for me.
No offense, Javonte.
Ball State, Pittsburgh, Akron, South Carolina, Vandy, Missouri.
Okay.
That's 6 right there. Kentucky could be your 7th. UT Martin. I mean, you've got 7. I think that's 7-ish, 7 or 8. I lost count trying to do it quickly. I mean, those are all wins. And then you get a Florida and LSU program that are in flux. Georgia and Alabama are the only ones that I go into the season thinking, okay, well, that's probably a loss. But Florida, LSU are very gettable next year. At least it looks like it right now.
Well, I think Hendon's going to come back.
Yes.
I think Hendon's a really good college quarterback, but I don't think he's ever going to be a highly rated NFL prospect. So,
that's okay.
And that's fine.
Yeah, that's okay.
And I'm not saying he can't go play in the league, but so I think he's going to come back, but which will be a big help. I think that pretty much puts the writing on the wall for Joe Milton if that happens. But so it's going to be interesting. But another thing about scheduling is what happens with these pods. Because it sounds like from Stanky's comments, these pods whenever that happens, because I know they want to get Oklahoma and Texas in as soon as possible. How does that change our scheduling and stuff like that? And this is the only thing I'm going to say. I'm going to get off here. If we're going to do it by geographical region, then let's just go ahead and put Kentucky, South Carolina, and Vanderbilt in our pod. That's what I'm voting for.
I mean, I don't see a problem with that.
Are y'all cool with that? So we can avoid this Alabama beat down annually?
Well, I ain't trying to avoid Alabama, but I see what you're saying. But I like that. Those 3 teams in the pod. I ain't no disagreement with that. South Carolina's just 3 hours away. You look at Georgia's like 4 hours away. Atlanta's 3 hours away. But hey, what's the difference, right? Kirby thinks University of Georgia's in Atlanta anyways. I like that. I like those pods, Jay. Let me just tell you that. 865-255-03. It's time for our weekly catch up with our guy Austin Price of VolQuest.com. Join us on Tuesday. AP, good morning, sir.
Nothing like watching you break down or listening to you break down GPS distances from city to city.
Well, we had a caller call in and, talking about the pods and is pushing for Vanderbilt, South Carolina, and Missouri to be for us to be in the same pod as those guys. And I'm all for it, man. I'm all for it. AP,
Yeah,
man.
that's probably not going to happen.
No, man. No, not the way the calls have been going against Tennessee lately. I can pretty much promise you that, man. Don't expect that anytime soon, my friend. This weekend or last weekend, Tennessee took on Alabama. What's kind of been the word with the recruits? The previous week had a nice showing against Ole Miss, even though you came up short. But you saw the improvement. You saw how close Tennessee can be to beating some of those teams. Alabama, you hung tough. You played your butt off. You had them worried there at the beginning of the third quarter, and things kind of fell apart at the end of the third quarter. But, kind of what was the recruits' take on what they saw Saturday?
Well, I think most recruits, especially and really the ones you're talking about, are the 23s. Because a lot of the Hayes in the bar. Now, there'll be still some, movement in the 22 class. But, the 23 class is kind of like this fresh canvas that you get to paint yourself. And, it's kind of like, somebody asked last night in the Monday Night Chat on VolQuest, and I don't know if Ben saw this, but of
course Ben saw it.
Somebody asked about, there's so many questions. There's a lot of them I don't see.
This is Ben talking about.
So somebody asked about, Tennessee, or made the comment that Tennessee got really lucky with Josh Heupel and the energy he's brought to the program and blah, 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 blah. And my response back to the person was, it's kind of energy that, he has, put the work in on, that it's not like, if Tennessee had hired a more kind of sexy hire, there would have been a different type of energy. Like, this is kind of like Josh Heupel's earned the energy that's around the program with the fans and the players and everything because of the hard work they put in. Because, for the first 5-6 months that Josh Heupel was here, there was no energy. It was very dead because fans had witnessed 12 or 13 years the same revolving door stuff and gotten their hopes up and had them dash, got their hopes up and had them dash. And I think they took a much more wait-and-see approach, which is why I think you've seen the fans really gravitate towards this team because it's kind of been organic and natural. So same thing in recruiting. The 23 class is kind of getting to see firsthand, Tennessee was terrible last year. And they're really, they're 4-4, but they're really competitive and, they're doing something with, not a whole lot of talent. The 23s fit. The 22s, they're more worried about, okay, I've got to get this decision made. Signing day's in 8 weeks. And so, yes, you can have an impact on the current class, but I think more so the 23s. Again, there's going to be some movement in the 22 class, between now and signing day, whether it be additions or subtractions or both. And, I just think that right now the kind of the vibe in recruiting is with the 23s, and it's been, I think, really, really positive.
Austin, how much do you think Scott Frost impacted the sexiness of the Josh Heupel hire to what you were just talking about? And I asked that because, when you look at what Heupel did at UCF, it's very similar to what Joseph Fuente did at Memphis, to what Mike Norvell was doing at Memphis. Eli Drinkwitz, Shane Beamer, they come in because they're with a lot of hype because they're media darlings, and media members love those guys because they give them a quote. But all these offensive coaches that are hot and up and coming, that they become these sexy hires. That was Josh Heupel. Do you think Scott Frost going undefeated and then bolting and then Heupel winning only 10 games after Frost maybe impacted the, quote, sexiness of the hire?
Well, that and the fact that, Josh is not real dynamic when it comes to talking to the media. He's just not. That's just his personality. He's never going to be, a soundbite machine or, pop off and kind of get a zinger in on somebody else. That's just not how he operates. And so, that right there alone, to me, Ben, makes it, I guess less of a, flashy hire compared to others. He lets kind of his hard work do the talking. It's kind of like the player that trash talks versus the player that doesn't. Both of them can have success. One of them is going to get a little bit more notoriety because of the way he talks than the other, or at least a different type of notoriety. And so that's kind of Josh Heupel. He just kind of goes about his business. He puts his nose down. He works. Last night he spoke at the Memphis Touchdown Club, and was told by a couple of people that were there he did a really nice job. He's very capable, and I think he's probably better in that setting than he is talking to us, because he's always like trying to think like how can I keep it all internal, and how can I focus on not getting too much information out and all that. So I think most of what you're saying is just the fact that he's more reserved and more methodical in his approach when it comes to how he does things overall, not just scoring points and doing things on the field, but just how he handles himself in all facets.
Austin Price, VolQuest.com, at Austin Priceless on Twitter. We had a couple questions about this earlier in the show. I'll ask you. Bye week, obviously it's a time to get healthy, heal up, all that good stuff. What are some things that you've seen in the first 8 games you think Tennessee will spend the most time looking at to correct?
Well, I think that, they would love to continue to add depth. Now, that's easier said than done. I mean, they pushed Jeremiah Crawford last week, the offensive lineman, really, really hard. And they've been pushing him hard the last few, weeks. But they don't have enough, or it doesn't seem like they have enough. Trust is not the right word, because I think they all trust their players. I think it's just
confident.
They don't have enough patience to put him in. Dane Davis, I think, because he's been here longer, knows the playbook. I mean, you remember Crawford didn't arrive until into July. I mean, it's extremely late in the process. So I think for Tennessee, it's continuing to build depth. Can they get to a point where they feel comfortable putting Crawford in against a Kentucky or somebody like that if Cade's not back? I think Cade will be back. I think Cade is going to try to finish this season out really, really strong. And not, everybody's going to go, he wants to play against Georgia. I think he wants to play every game because, I think he's genuinely having a good time. And let's face it, Cade's not going to be back past this year, barring something unforeseen. And, he's got a month left to play with his brother. The likelihood is they're not going to be on the same team, even if they both play in the NFL. So, you want to relish the next month if you're him. So I think he's going to really push himself to get back. And so I think that, ultimately it's just continuing to add depth. The fact that Kamal hadn't played as much as he did the other night, that's a good thing. That's going to continue to build depth for him. Turnage has obviously played more over the last month. You just got to find a few more weapons, and I think Tennessee's slowly doing that. Problem is like at linebacker, they have no more weapons. It kind of is what it is, and Tennessee's going to have a patchwork deal there the rest of the season.
Sounds like Walther Nolen may quit taking visits after his official to Tennessee for the Georgia game. Are you buying that, and how worried should Tennessee be about Texas A&M?
Oh, Ben, I guess, Ben, you're probably too young. Swain, did you watch wrestling as a kid?
I watched wrestling.
Yeah, man.
I still watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand you might have watched wrestling, but do you remember Sting, Ben?
Yes. I've gone back and watched documentaries and old episodes.
Sting's my favorite.
Sting was my favorite. Sting's line was, the only thing for sure about Sting is nothing's for sure. And that's kind of Walther Nolen. The only thing sure about Walther Nolen is nothing's for sure. I mean, no, I don't buy anything. Again, this thing could have 400 twists and turns between now and signing day. We used to have 1,000. Now we're at 400. You know, Texas A&M is doing a nice job with him. That's why he's been down there now twice in the last few weeks. Tennessee's doing a nice job. They're the top two schools. Now, A&M feels like that right now they're getting him. And I couldn't argue that. I just know that, you know, it's never going to be locked in until the kid signs. Like, you know, Tennessee is in still a really good spot. I call them 1A, 1B. But who's to say that some other school comes in and says, hey, look at all these NIL opportunities. You know, now here's the deal. Schools technically can't do that. But we all know that stuff goes on behind the scenes. You know, and my point being is, like, you just never know how this thing could twist or turn between now and the mid-December. Again, right now it looks a certain way. That doesn't mean it'll look like that for the next month and a half.
Yeah, let me know when sign day is here.
You think he's an early signing day guy or February?
Yes, he's definitely an early signing day guy. And here's the other thing. Swain, I don't want to hear that because I dealt with your J.J. Peterson questions for 7 or 8 months, and I wanted to go, just let me know when he shows up. So
good point. Good point. Where is he right now? Where is J.J. Peterson, AP?
He's somewhere with Jai Eugene and Ulysses Alexander and any of the other ones that have, you know.
So we don't really know.
We don't know.
Gotcha.
He's in JUCO somewhere.
So he's in Mississippi?
Think.
Or Kansas. We think he's in JUCO. That's a good point.
Jeez. Oh, well. Austin, man, good info as always. Bye week. Got a chance to kick your feet up a little bit. Get you a little mini vacay if you want to.
I wish, you know, normally on the bye week I do go somewhere. But this year, because it's Halloween, I'm not, because, you know, I want my kids to be able to trick or treat and do all that stuff. So
they can trick or treat at Disney.
Yeah, Disney right now. As much as I love it, that's not the spot for me right now.
Too many people.
And so
why? Because it's just packed this time of year.
No, I love Disney at Halloween. Halloween and Christmas are my 2 favorite times to go. I don't know. I look forward to going back. It's just not the place for me right now.
Here's my question, Austin.
I got you. Josh Heupel. That was a Josh Heupel response. We got you.
That was a Josh.
You learned it from Heupel. Good job.
Spending too much time with him. How absurd is it, Swain, that in Austin Price's house right now, their Christmas tree is up, and it's not even Halloween.
This is what I know about Austin. That last year he put up the stuff really, really early. This is what he does, and I mean, hey,
it's too much stuff to put up for a short shelf life.
I get it. I mean,
so now, would I put it up before Halloween? No. Would I put it up right after Halloween? Absolutely. But hey, when I'm out of town and my wife does it and I don't have to do it, I'm not complaining.
Yes, baby, you right. It looks great,
baby.
baby.
Whatever you want. I mean, I get a kick out of the fact that when kids come to our house on Sunday and say trick or treat, behind me is going to be a Christmas tree.
Say hey to Santa.
Can I come by and get some candy?
Here's your Kit Kat.
Ben,
candy
I
do you
will
give
throw,
that, Austin?
I will throw eggs at you.
Oh, I know you would.
You know, Austin giving out nachos and nacho cheese like Baker Mayfield.
I know you would. Just like somebody on the text box earlier, we were talking about next year's schedule, and somebody was joking and said, VolQuest, well, this Pittsburgh game's at Heinz Field. We know Ben would love to go, so we're going to make Ben stay home in Knoxville. And my thought was, if AP has any say about it, yep, Ben will be staying at home for the Pittsburgh game next year.
You know, Swain, I'm just glad Ben's in a good mood. The other night at Alabama, he was in a bad, terrible mood. You should have seen him after the game. He was all mad.
I'm proud of him.
It's not true.
I'm proud of him. He's a Bammer. He's a Bammer at heart.
I'm going to fight you. I'm about to punch you in your throat
he's
right
from,
now.
Hey, he's from Alabama.
Let's quit spewing hate.
He's from Alabama, and he's a Tennessee Vol at heart, and Tennessee lost to Alabama. He's supposed to be pissed off. It just means more to Ben because he's from the state of Alabama.
I don't think that's why he was mad.
What'd you say?
I said I don't think that's why he was mad.
I wasn't mad.
That's why he's mad.
I wasn't mad. Austin, last thing. What candy are you handing out, and what was your favorite Halloween costume that you had growing up?
He's probably doing candy corn.
Oh, Lord, I can't remember what I dressed up as when I was a kid.
Stone Cold?
No, Stone Cold. That's funny. I honestly don't remember what I dressed up as a kid. That was too many years ago.
You dressed up as Coach Former?
Showing your age there.
No. Now, as far as candy, whatever my wife purchased, now I'll say this. My neighbor across the street, Rich Grindle, who is from Chicago, Illinois. He goes, by the way, he's from Chicago, and he is a Cardinals and Packers fan. Let that resonate. Born and raised Chicago.
What a loser.
And so,
Packers. How dare you?
So anyways, he hands out full-fledged, like legit Reese cups or Kit Kats, like full bars. Like, now, that's somebody who does it right.
Now, what about your favorite candy?
My favorite candy, the ones I just named: Twix, Kit Kat, Reese Cup, Snickers.
Well, you sound like me. Any Halloween candy is good candy.
No, I mean I don't do I want legitimate candy. I don't want candy corn. I don't want any of the little things. I want it to be a legitimate candy bar. Like little pieces of candy do nothing for me. I'm not a Milky Way guy. That's my dad. My dad loves Milky Way. Yeah, I mean, if you gave me basically Halloween through Easter, just give me the Reese holidays. Give me the pumpkins, the trees, the hearts, the eggs, fresh peanut butter.
You can't go wrong with peanut butter in any type of candy bar. It's absolutely delicious. Austin, we appreciate your time, my friend, and I will see you here tomorrow. We don't have any media availabilities Monday or Tuesday, but we've got one tomorrow. We'll have Josh Heupel, 11 a.m. tomorrow.
Can't wait. Looking forward to it.
See you, buddy.
See you guys.
His time is brought to you by Jennifer Morris of Keller Williams Realty, 865-257-7897 is her telephone number if you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate. Jennifer Morris, 865@gmail.com. Hour 3, powered by Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Be right back.
Hour 3 of the Swain Event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
Is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you. Hello, is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you.
What are you doing?
Calling around to get the best rate on a car loan.
Why? Everyone knows Alcoa 10 is the best choice to purchase a vehicle or refinance your current loan. And with low interest rates and 90 days to your first payment, it's a no-brainer. You can even apply online and sign all the documents from the convenience of your home.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
Alcoa 10 Credit Union. It's so easy. Go to atfcu.com for details. Rates are dependent on credit score and equal housing lender.
When you start your own business, you know that branding can make or break a new venture. That's why Swain Event relies on 42nd Street. 42nd Street is a strategy agency focused on finding creative, open-minded, results-driven solutions to brand design. After over a decade of operations in East Tennessee, the brand architects at 42nd Street have the experience and creative know-how to ensure the success of your business branding, logo, web presence, and more. To see a real-life example of their amazing work, you can check out our website at swainevent.com. Don't trust the branding of your business to just anyone. Check out my friends at 42nd Street online at 42st.com or give them a call at 865-382
7007. 42nd Street. Brand, strategy, design.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. Cheer on your favorite team with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
Good morning, Swain Event crew. Fall is here, and according to the big box stores, it's Christmas time too. This time of year is traditionally a busy one for the East Tennessee real estate market, and it will continue through the end of 2021 as well. Most people think the holidays aren't the right time to buy and sell. However, it is one of the best times to jump in the market. To find out more, just give me a call, Jennifer Morris, Keller Williams Realty, at 865-257-7897, or email me at jennifermorris865@gmail.com. And go Vols!
JC's Tree and Landscaping Service specializes in quality tree work done at an affordable price. Trimming and removing trees are their specialty. They also offer other services like land clearing, stump grinding, crane services, and all of your basic landscaping needs for both commercial and residential. JC's will give you a free estimate and beat any written quote by a competitor to guarantee that you get the lowest price around. Don't risk your land with a fly-by-night service. JC's Tree and Landscaping is licensed and insured. Give them a call at 865-599-3799. Litter is a big problem in Tennessee, but together we can do big things. We can make our cities, our waterways, our roads cleaner and safer. The Tennessee Department of Transportation is committed to reducing litter in our communities, but we need your help to do it. There are over 100 million pieces of litter in our roads at any given time, and it costs TDOT about $19 million a year just to clean it up. The first step to keeping Tennessee beautiful is to rally behind these 3 simple words. Nobody trashes Tennessee. Join the Nobody Trashes Tennessee movement at nobodytrashestennessee.com. We're here with Dr. Michael Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine to discuss PRP, platelet-rich plasma. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, Achilles tendonitis, or tennis elbow, you should give them a call.
Good to be back, Jason. We specialize in non-surgical orthopedics, so we treat damaged tendons, ligaments, and joints, including rotator cuff injuries, knee injuries, and elbow and foot problems by using ultrasound-guided injections with PRP. And this form of treatment helps stimulate the body's own reparative process and assist in the healing of damaged tissue.
Doc, what makes your training different than others?
I've been practicing in Knoxville for over 26 years, and I'm certified in interventional regenerative orthopedic medicine through the American Academy of Orthopedic Medicine. They've been the leader in this form of treatment since 1983. I also teach this form of treatment on a national and international basis to other physicians, residents, and medical students. Here in our clinic, I'm the one doing the procedure, and we're using your own PRP, which are concentrated platelets, to treat your injury. So in other words, Jason, it comes from you and it goes back to you. So you know exactly what you're getting and know exactly the level of training involved.
Do what the pros, college athletes, and I have done, and visit them online at trsportsmedicine.com. Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, East Tennessee's leader in PRP therapy.
More and more Tennessee businesses are switching to Iris Networks for reliable, local, high-quality, high-speed business fiber internet. Iris provides direct internet access from 10 megs to 10 gigs with no payments for 90 days. Iris also offers next-generation business phones with work from anywhere capability from the mobile or laptop app. With local sales, support, and service, Iris is a partner in the community. Learn more at irisnetworkusa.com or call 865-448-IRIS. Iris Networks, a Tennessee business connecting Tennessee businesses.
Hour 3 of the Swain Event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
The official UT license plate, now available at Tennessee County Clerk locations across the state.
$15 of your $35 annual specialty plate fee will go support student scholarships at Tennessee. For UT students, go to alumni.utk.edu/license plate for more information. The official UT license plate. Again, available county clerk offices across the state of Tennessee. Let's get to Jared. We went to Jared on line 1. Jared, good morning.
Don't do that to him.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are y'all?
What's up? What's up? Good morning.
Good. Hey, first-time caller. Been listening since back in the days, Swain and Rucker.
Wow.
It's due. It's due.
Wow, it is due, man. Golly, man. You should have been calling a long time ago, but
I know.
We'll take it today.
All right. Hey, so I got a question.
Okay.
Rumors are K-Ron Calvert is getting a little better, right? And that he could potentially play by the end of the season. So a question I want to ask you is, in a perfect world, or maybe in an ideal scenario, what is the best 5? Is it to take K-Ron Calvert, put him at tackle, slide Cade in, and Javonte Spraggins is on the bench? Or is it K-Ron being your 6th man up and you run with your original 5 that you started the season with? Or it seems like Javonte Spraggins has had a really good season, so you hate to see him kind of over there on the side, but just curious what y'all's thoughts were on the best 5 if K-Ron is available and really is 100%. And, man, I'll hang up and listen off air.
Thank you for the phone call, Jared. Best 5, Ben, and this was the 5 that we expected going into the season, and that was K-Ron at tackle, and Cade at guard, and Cade's going to be a guard at the next level. He was hopeful to kind of show his versatility at tackle this year. I don't know how much it's helped him, to be honest, but you got Cade at guard, and then you have Cooper at center, and then Carvin at guard, and then right at tackle. That would be what I'm thinking would be the best 5 if K-Ron is able to be the old K-Ron before the injury.
I just would not bank on K-Ron coming back and being a bona fide starter. I think he's going to come back and chip in and contribute. I don't think that him being a full-time starter as soon as he's able to is a reasonable expectation.
Yeah.
Just a tough injury to overcome. Going to have a lot of rust. And, if he's ready, he's ready. But I just don't think he'll be 100% ready. And it's already November by the time he gets back. Kentucky, next week, will be pushing it to even play in that game. So I just think he'll be a contributor more than a starter.
Let's get to Vol Storm. Storm, good morning.
Does Austin Price live in a Walmart? Already got the Christmas tree up.
He does make a good point, though. Like, his wife put it up for him, and that does sound like a win.
Yeah, listen.
Well, anytime Austin can get out of doing real work, he's going
to. Hey, we get all this Christmas stuff. We got it hanging up in sitting up in the attic or in the garage or whatever storage place you have your Christmas stuff for basically 11 months, and you put it up for just 4 weeks. So I understand why Austin had it up early, and I definitely understand why he had it up early last year with COVID and all that stuff. So I won't give him too much crap about it. Too much.
And let's do a little dissection here. You notice that Austin said his neighbor gave away the full candy bar. Not him.
No, he ain't doing that now.
He probably sticking his hand down the kids that come trick-or-treating and get candy out of their bags.
Yeah, what he does is he puts in the mini version of a Snickers, and he takes out the full-size Snickers from across the street.
That's about right.
That's probably what he does, right?
Swain, you'd have been proud as I passed by that high school stadium known as Vanderbilt, whatever.
You didn't say it correctly.
I gave him the Rashawn Golden.
What school?
Vanderbilt.
Yeah, that was good, man. That came from deep. I can tell.
That's from my chest. Came off my chest.
You did. That was good. Good job.
And then it just so happens as I was passing by, They were out on the practice field, so I gave them a big, loud "Go Vols."
You should go back by and roll your windows down and blast Rocky Top.
Guys, I'll be the compassionate one here. I watched the game when they played Mississippi State, and I watched their home crowd. I feel bad for them.
No!
Mississippi State fans were louder.
Blank them kids.
F them kids.
Man.
They want to make little DVDs after Pat and Robinette danced into the end zone.
I just
after
felt
they
bad,
beat
man.
Butch. Blank them.
I felt so
James
bad.
Franklin wants to throw up the anchor, the Vanderbilt anchor down, whatever sign in front of Johnny Majors.
Johnny Majors.
Blank him and the rest of his school.
They deserve all they getting right now.
Mm-hmm.
You're right.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. Thank you guys for talking sense into me.
I mean, Memphis has a better football
having our
program
head
than
coach
Vandy.
tugging up on their head coach.
Spooning is the correct definition.
Yeah, spooning. I was trying to be PG.
Yeah. How dare me? What was I thinking?
What's wrong with you?
I know. Get them kids. All right.
Yeah, speaking of Mississippi State, do we want Mississippi State to beat Kentucky this weekend or not?
I don't really know. I don't really care because I know Kentucky looks at Tennessee as their Super Bowl, and I know they beat us down last year, but crowd.
They beat Jarrett Garantano last year.
Whatever. Last time I checked, he had on Tennessee uniform.
Hey, can I throw rain on that parade?
What?
Kentucky looks at Florida as their Super Bowl.
Dude, it's gonna be rocking. It's gonna be rocking.
It is, but if we're being honest, Kentucky does not care about Tennessee.
You can play
They
two
care more
Super
about
Bowls.
Florida.
They care about Tennessee too.
No, they care about Tennessee because
Not the
how
way they
many
do about
games has Kentucky won against us in the past, I don't know, 20 years?
I can count on one hand.
Dude,
Like 3.
we are disrespectful to Kentucky's football program. They are circling the calendar. Can't wait to prove us wrong
They are.
and beat us.
But Florida is their Super
Plus,
Bowl.
That might be.
plus if you've forgotten the fact that Daddy Barnes owns Calipari, and they hate that.
Yeah, exactly. They can't stand Tennessee. So they can't wait for it to be a night game. They'll probably wear their black jerseys and the chrome helmets. They'll be ready to go.
They won't wear checkerboard jerseys?
Whatever. I don't know.
You know they like to steal things. So
No,
they'll probably
they use checkerboard first.
Shut up. We made it our own.
We just made it better, but they use it
Our
first.
checkerboard comes from Ayers Hall. Theirs comes from an imaginary horse race.
Well, I mean, they did use it first. We just use it better, and
But-
we've used it longer. They just use it first.
But just because you use it first don't mean that it's yours. They
Look.
used it and ditched it.
When everybody
They left it up for
thinks of
grabs.
checkerboard, they think of Tennessee. They don't think of Kentucky.
And that is true.
Facts.
That's facts right there.
And even though they used it first, their fans get legitimately upset when they incorporate checkerboard into anything now because, like of what Volstorm just said, when you think of checkerboard, you think of Tennessee.
That's right.
They hate the checkerboard. Well, I think they've done it in the end zone once or twice before.
Yeah, it's black and blue. It's hideous.
Yeah. They hate it when they do that. They hate it when they put it in the jersey because it reminds them of Tennessee.
Well, it's because Mitch Barnhart has no original ideas. You have to steal a lot of ours.
He's a Vol at heart.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
He got some Vol, pass. He's just letting it out. Orange power.
Guys, I'm going to get off here before I drop an F-bomb like Marshawn Lynch. See you, boys!
They knew what was going to happen bringing on Marshawn Lynch. Anyways, we got to go to the phones.
We got Triple O.
Triple O, good morning.
First of all, Swain, we had it first. We used it in the 1930s. They didn't use it to the 50s.
History says that they had it
Triple O, that
first.
is true.
History says that Kentucky used it first.
Well, there's dispute in history. Just like back in the day, we used to have horse races here, just like they did.
Well,
they made it famous, and we didn't because we had.
Horse racing.
In your world, Triple O, the Lions are 7-0.
No, in my mind, they 0-7, but they should be 2-5. So first of all, I'm not talking about. Hey, first of all, let's don't get started on your piss poor Bears getting blown out by Tampa Bay. 3 point. At least my team actually scored a touchdown this weekend. Your team scored a field goal.
Whippy do. Your team, my team stinks. Your team stinks worse. Whip-de-doo, whip-de-doo. My team stinks just like your team. Whip-de-doo.
Triple O, what was it like to watch Stafford beat the Lions? I'm actually asking, not making fun.
To be honest with you, it hurt because we wasted that man's career. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, don't get me wrong. That's my all-time favorite quarterback. That's my dude, right? That's my dude. It hurt, but I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm happy that they, next to the Cardinals who beat them, they're the second best team right now in the NFC. As it is what it is, right? It's a difference. Now I see, and then everybody talking about, well, Jared Goff is not a big drop-off. Okay, we're winless. If I had Stafford, I'd be 4-3 right now. I wouldn't be no 0-7. That's just facts, right? It is what it is. Jared Goff sucks. I mean, we scored first, and we scored off a damn screenplay. And then on the other hand, we was up 10-0. I mean, it's not like, we should be winless. I mean, we should be like 2-5. Let's just face it. That's what we should be, but we're not, right? Your record is what your record is. And it hurts because that's my dude, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, that's my quarterback. Mm-hmm. But I'm glad to see you do well. I mean, he's like the ex that you see him, you still, you say hi to him and you respect him, right? Mm-hmm. That's what he is for me. He's the ex that I actually respect.
Have you picked out your Halloween costume?
Man, my costume is a pissed off Lions fan day in and day out, man. My costume don't change. I tell you what my costume's going to be come this this upcoming week is going to be pissing off Kentucky fans. I'm so sick and tired of Kentucky, and I got family members up there talking. Don't get me wrong, man. Everybody's like, well, Kentucky's best this year. Even during their – okay, put it like this. Let's give the last 10 years its props, right? Our worst 10 years since the 70s, right? Worst decade, you would say, involves football, right?
Correct.
They've only won 3 damn times. They won 30%. 30%. Now, I'm going to do some math today, right? Out of the times we've ever played Kentucky, right? They're not even 25% winning against us.
He had to stop and take his math.
The long pause over there, you was carrying the one, wasn't you?
No, man, I'm talking about, look at, man,
let me carry that
they got 26 wins, 81 losses. If they win on the 6th, they are finally at 25% winning all time versus us. They're not even, I mean, they're worse than the Detroit Lions.
Damn.
They're worse than the Lions.
Whoa.
They're piss poor terrible.
That's bad.
And speaking of,
Lions are terrible.
Speaking of piss poor terrible, this whole thing about Ole Miss, and I didn't get a chance to really rant about them. The last time that Ole Miss won the SEC, the last time they won the SEC, let's talk about Mississippi, because everybody's like, well, they ain't care for this and they ain't care for that. They ain't won the SEC since they had white and colored bathrooms. I don't want to hear nothing about Mississippi. I don't care about Mississippi State. F that state. F Bama. F every other team that ain't Tennessee. I'm so sick and tired of hearing about everybody else. And this whole SEC pride, and if I see one more person talking about, I still love Lane, I'm going to take my foot, turn it sideways, and stick it up that swamp donkey rear end. I am so sick and tired of this SEC pride. F them. They don't care about us. I don't care about them either. And every time I hear Dixieland Delight, I tell my brother and I tell my cousins who love Bama, it's about Granger County tricks.
Oh, my goodness. So violent. You're choosing violence.
I'm petty. I'm ready to be petty. Guess what? Everybody wanted Petty King back. Petty King is back. I'm out. Deuces. Love y'all.
I do have some advice for you for Halloween, Triple O. I'm kind of scared to even share it with you because you might threaten to, put your foot in my butt too. But this is what you do, Triple O. You go to the liquor store. You get you a gallon of your favorite, whatever your favorite is. The reason why you get a gallon is because they're going to give you a big bag. It's going to be a paper bag, a brown paper bag. Won't be plastic. It'll be a brown paper bag because you're going to get a gallon of the good stuff, right? You're going to take that gallon of spirits or liter or whatever, and you're going to put it away. But you're really there for the brown paper bag because that brown paper bag you're going to take, you're going to fold it, you're going to draw circles, you're going to cut out the eyes, and you're going to put it on. You're going to be a Detroit Lions fan for Halloween. An embarrassed Detroit Lions fan. That's what you could be for Halloween, Triple O. That's what you do. That's what you need to be. 0-7. But man,
Kentucky has gone winless in a season before. In 1982, they went 0-10.
Yeah, they have. They have, man. They certainly have. Low T Center offers monitored self-inject at-home testosterone treatments, providing convenience and additional health monitoring measures for your health, including a take-home blood pressure monitoring cuff. Self-inject at-home treatments are now just $155 a month for self-inject, or for you other folks that have insurance, you can rest assured that it will be covered by your health insurance most of the time. So if you're feeling tired, you're feeling grumpy, you notice weight gain or loss of muscle mass, these all can be signs of low testosterone levels, low thyroid, or even sleep apnea. So Low T Center can help determine the cause and help. It starts with the comprehensive health assessment, though, folks. LowTCenter.com, reinventing men's healthcare. So there's multiple locations in Tennessee. Go to the website, find the closest to you, and make those changes to feel like you again. Let's go back to the phones.
We got Rusty to end the day.
Rusty. Good morning, Rusty.
All right. What's going on, fellas?
We are great.
All right. Hey, so I have nothing now. I got nothing to talk about because Triple O used everything I was going to bring up, even the math. So I don't even know what to talk about. I guess we'll just say we'll see you guys in a week. We're going to get together, right?
No.
We're not.
No, I don't want to hang out with C-Mac.
Oh, yes, you are. He's listening.
I know he is.
It's already going to start now.
Hey, you went to the Dodgers and Braves game, right, in L.A.?
Yeah.
Who were you rooting for?
The Braves.
I just want to do that.
Uh-oh in there.
Because the remix.
But you saw I was wearing the orange, right?
I did see the photo.
Yeah. Yeah, but I have my Brave stuff on underneath.
I'm surprised you weren't wearing your little sissy blue shirt. I know Gina likes to rock the new sissy blue shirts.
You know it.
Sissy blue.
The Bruins falling on hard times right now, too.
Look, you moved to L.A., and they just can't win anymore.
I know, right? It was us. We brought it to them.
You know, it'd be so petty if UCLA sent Ogeron a UCLA shirt with a note that says, "Hey, we got an opening for a off the field assistant job, analyst. Chip Kelly can help rebuild your career." Like, that would be so petty if UCLA did that.
Known as the Butch Jones position.
yeah, that would be so petty, man. So wrong, but funny.
Oh, I love it. So, Ben, who do you got and how many games?
I don't know.
Stros or Braves?
I was asked this question yesterday.
I don't know
who's going to win. I don't have a feel.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't know who's going to win.
You think the Astros going to win? Go ahead.
If I had a gun to my head and had to make a pick, I think I would pick the Astros. But I don't feel strongly about the Braves winning. I don't feel strongly about the Astros winning. I think they're pretty evenly matched up. And if I had to pick, I'd probably say the Astros because they've been there before, and I don't have to worry about the moment being too big for them.
Hey, well, I'll be home Friday, and if you guys can get me tickets for maybe Saturday night's game, I'd really appreciate it. You know, I'm willing to spend $75-$80 for lower level if y'all can hook that up for me.
Yeah, we'll get right on that. World Series tickets that cost $1,000.
Right.
Yeah, good luck with that.
I know Swain's the one with all the connections, though. So he's the one.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Who you got winning the World Series?
Just give me a reason to sing it. Just give me a reason. I'm gonna take it.
Canceled singing that and waving your hand like that.
Ain't that what Elvis used to do?
What? Who used to do Elvis?
Yeah, with the mic.
Yeah, but he moved his head at the same time. So. You're gonna break your mic again.
I don't need some blue suede shoes. I'm good. I think I got some Nikes up there that's blue. They're not suede, though. Jordan ain't come out with those yet.
Look at all these middle fingers C-Max sending me. I mean, twice today. He sent me 3 middle fingers.
Looks like cyberbullying to me.
Oh, and there's another text. He sent me 3 texts this morning. I'm going to turn him into his work.
That's so petty. Petty like that one lady on Twitter was like, I'm about to post a screenshot of the football player flirting with me.
Really?
Yeah. That's our time for today. That's our time for today.
Was he a good football player?
This is our time for today. This is Swain Event, not Jerry Springer. We about to go. We're professional here, Ben. Trying to keep it that way. Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Hope you have a great day, a fabulous day. Be back tomorrow, 7 a.m. Peace and love. Tonight, Tennessee Prime at Gus's Fried Chicken. Hope to see you there, hear you there. 7 p.m. We'll start the show. For Ben McKee, I'm Jason Swain. Peace and love. We are out.
Hour 3 of the Swain Event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
Guys, your health right now is more important than ever. I recommend Low T Center. That's where I get my levels checked. It all starts with the annual wellness exam where they do a comprehensive health assessment exclusively for men, making it quick and easy to take care of your health. And now they offer monitored self-inject at-home testosterone treatment. Most insurance is accepted. Go to lowtcenter.com now to book your appointment and make your health a priority. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
At Iris Networks, we know that business communication solutions are critical to your success. Since 1998, we've been helping businesses in East Tennessee by providing reliable and affordable high-speed fiber internet and voice solutions. That's why Iris Networks is your Tennessee communications partner. With internet speeds up to 100 gigs and work-from-anywhere solutions like mobile apps, video conferencing, and file sharing, we make sure you can stay connected to your customers and great communities we live and work in. Iris Networks, because just like you, Tennessee is our home.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. Firms from Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham have stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local law firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. They are our neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Hour 3 of the Swain Event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
Is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you. Hello, is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you.
What are you doing?
Calling around to get the best rate on a car loan.
Why? Everyone knows Alcoa 10 is the best choice to purchase a vehicle or refinance your current loan. And with low interest rates and 90 days to your first payment, it's a no-brainer. You can even apply online and sign all the documents from the convenience of your home.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
Alcoa 10 Credit Union. It's so easy. Go to atfcu.com for details. Rates are dependent on credit score and equal housing lender.
Good morning, Swain Event crew. Fall is here, and according to the big box stores, it's Christmas time too. This time of year is traditionally a busy one for the East Tennessee real estate market, and it will continue through the end of 2021 as well. Most people think the holidays aren't the right time to buy and sell. However, it is one of the best times to jump in the market. To find out more, just give me a call, Jennifer Morris, Keller Williams Realty, at 865-257-7897, or email me at jennifermorris865@gmail.com. And go Vols!
JC's Tree and Landscaping Service specializes in quality tree work done at an affordable price. Trimming and removing trees are their specialty. They also offer other services like land clearing, stump grinding, crane services, and all of your basic landscaping needs for both commercial and residential. JC's will give you a free estimate and beat any written quote by a competitor to guarantee that you get the lowest price around. Don't risk your land with a fly-by-night service. JC's Tree and Landscaping is licensed and insured. Give them a call at 599-3799. Litter is a big problem in Tennessee, but together we can do big things. We can make our cities, our waterways, our roads cleaner and safer. The Tennessee Department of Transportation is committed to reducing litter in our communities, but we need your help to do it. There are over 100 million pieces of litter in our roads at any given time, and it costs TDOT about $19 million a year just to clean it up. The first step to keeping Tennessee beautiful is to rally behind these 3 simple words. Nobody trashes Tennessee. Join the Nobody Trashes Tennessee movement at nobodytrashestennessee.com. We're here with Dr. Michael Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine to discuss PRP, platelet-rich plasma. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, Achilles tendonitis, or tennis elbow, you should give them a call.
Good to be back, Jason. We specialize in non-surgical orthopedics, so we treat damaged tendons, ligaments, and joints, including rotator cuff injuries, knee injuries, and elbow and foot problems by using ultrasound-guided injections with PRP. And this form of treatment helps stimulate the body's own reparative process and assist in the healing of damaged tissue.
Doc, what makes your training different than others?
I've been practicing in Knoxville for over 26 years, and I'm certified in interventional regenerative orthopedic medicine through the American Academy of Orthopedic Medicine. They've been the leader in this form of treatment since 1983. I also teach this form of treatment on a national and international basis to other physicians, residents, and medical students. Here in our clinic, I'm the one doing the procedure, and we're using your own PRP, which are concentrated platelets, to treat your injury. So in other words, Jason, it comes from you and it goes back to you. So you know exactly what you're getting and know exactly the level of training involved.
Do what the pros, college athletes, and I have done, and visit them online at trsportsmedicine.com. Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, East Tennessee's leader in PRP therapy.
More and more Tennessee businesses are switching to Iris networks for reliable, local, high-quality, high-speed business fiber internet. Iris provides direct internet access from 10 megs to 10 gigs with no payments for 90 days. Iris also offers next-generation business phones with work-from-anywhere capability from the mobile or laptop app. With local sales, support, and service, Iris is a partner in the community. Learn more at irisnetworkusa.com or call 865-448-IRIS. Iris Networks, a Tennessee business connecting Tennessee businesses.
Hour 3 of the Swain Event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.